lives forever. All right, now we're live. Yeah, we're live. Now everyone gets quiet.
We're shy.
Jacob is very shy.
Jacob's very shy.
I can be.
He's the one that wants to record the Twitch. What are you talking about?
I'm not going to be there.
I'm not going to be there. you just want us to do it, right? You guys should really.
I just want the money part of it.
He's going to hop into the Twitch chat and just troll us.
Just troll us.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's funny.
So now that we're live,
all right, go ahead, Voth.
I'm going to have to dye my hair pink and comb it over because that's what the D&D nerds on Twitch do.
That's
Fucking
right.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so.
It better be for a boob thing.
It's like.
Isn't it on the Roll20 channel they do that?
Yeah, it's the Roll20 channel. It's like completely full of social justice warriors. Like you go to watch it.
Have to do with social justice.
I know it, but you know how social justice warriors always have to dye their hair a color that's sort of clownish, like not a normal color.
Right.
So I turn on. I'm like, oh, they're doing what was it? Burning Wheel, and I was interested in checking it out. Okay, so it comes on. It's a dude with pink hair, a comb over, and a giant red beard.
Yep.
And like a lisp. I'm so confused. I'm like, is this like a gay Viking from Sweden or something? It's just weird.
And he's a Roll20.
Like, oh, hello guys. Something like that. And then there's a girl with green hair, a black girl with blue hair, and then just like this corpulent white guy who barely fits in the screen. And I'm just like, this is embarrassing. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. I'm like, this is. I couldn't imagine what their ideas would even be. I just had to leave.
I approached the non-gender specific guard.
No shit. I asked the guard what his pronouns are.
I asked Shim how Shim feels about themselves inside.
If you go to YouTube and do a search just on Roll20, the first ones that's going to pop. Well, the first one will pop up will be the Roll20 channel. The next one that pops up is that Wheel of Time one that Voth is exactly talking about.
That's funny.
You go in there and you say, I would like to purchase something. They're like, okay, roll your privilege. Okay. Do I get to fork in white? Fork in white or is that bad?
You get a plus white privilege, but everyone has a negative attitude towards it.
I'm gonna have to dock your dice pool by 1 for being white. Oh, are you male? Are you cisgender? Oh, I'm gonna have to bump the obstacle up by 2. No one likes cis white males.
Are you gender fluid? You'll get a bonus for that one.
No kidding. Like everyone is playing like a trans of some sort.
That would explain.
I'm otherkin.
I'm otherkin.
Oh god. Anyways.
That one's
now that we've offended every social justice warrior that might ever watch our channel.
We gotta offend somebody every session, you know. Last session is probably the mothers.
You're just giving the trolls more fuel for the fire.
All right. We would definitely have to call Crux points privilege points.
Right.
Sure.
Holy cow, how did my Crux get up to 8? Something right.
Jacob remembered the humor. After I watched the recap and I kept laughing, I decided everyone deserved one more Crux. Which they'll come in handy because if you ever exhaust your pool, when you your privilege pool, when you rest, it gets really hard to catch back up. So you can actually dump Crux points for extra dice when you're recovering to recover a little bit quicker, which there will be times when that's necessary.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Okay, because like potential's like really far down there right now.
All right, so Jacob, since you watched the video the most, why don't you do a recap real quick of what happened last session?
It's my turn, huh? Okay. Let's see. Where did we start? We're outside of Varnish. We had just got done talking about the curse and what had happened overnight. And we decided to group up and head to the nearest city, Varnish, because Azar was familiar with it being like a big trade hub and whatnot, being so close to his home city. We get there, and shenanigans ensue to get inside. We get to the library. We acquire a map of the swamp that took us far too long to find.
Yeah.
The swamp that was clearly labeled as the swamp.
I thought he was being descriptive.
And we're all looking at all the other swamps everywhere.
I assumed vast swamp was the description as well.
That's right.
Looking for the vastest swamp I could.
Yep.
Hull Swamp is really big.
Funny enough, I think Hull Swamp is still bigger than the vast swamp. It's just, on a different continent.
Yep. Yeah.
And don't remember the part then where Voth had to drop out. We all three got very, very excited about the Temple of Elemental Evil. And then Voth comes back and dashes all our hopes. Just says, "Oh no, that's just a random map I grabbed." It's like, it's right there.
Oh, I was laughing so hard. Right because I was gone. Remember, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And so when I get to hear this third person, the things you were saying while I'm gone, I'm just like face palming and laughing my ass off because you guys are so excited. Oh, we got it figured out.
It's right there. It's right there. We're totally going to the Temple of Elemental Evil. This is awesome.
Oh man.
Voth comes back and says, "No, this is just a random map. I just placed you somewhere. You're going to the other continent. It's nowhere near that."
Yeah, I Googled. Well, actually, I don't really use Google. I usually use Bing for image searches and just types. Well, Google has just gotten so controlled; it's hard to get anything.
Poignant.
But so, anyways, I was using it and I just searched D&D map, and there's a bunch of different maps, and I was like, "Oh, I don't think I've ever seen this map before," and I just grab it and populate it into the game and. Didn't think twice about it. So
that was Greyhawk.
Not only that, but you put us right next to
it. I know.
You could have started on the other continent.
Yep. And then we went closer to it. It's like, we're moving that direction. We came off the mountains. We're down the mountainside. We're heading towards Hamlet.
This is it, you guys.
Yes. This is going to be the greatest thing in the world. Oh, really?
Never mind.
Oh, we're just going to that swamp over there?
After the library, we started to head towards the Temple of Pelor, where we came across a large crowd chanting about their problems with the Gilded Lords. Mm-hmm. We all felt like, fuck this shit, let's go over here. And we went to the Grand Temple of Pelor, where they were still there, because the crowd is just immense, taking over the whole center area of Varnish. And that's when things got a little interesting. Karen got in the temple because he's all chill, and Raylan and Azar, mostly Azar, not shutting the fuck up for 20 minutes, got them into some shenanigans.
Hey, I invited you guys into the temple.
That's true. Well, in Azar, there's no point for him to go in the temple, but he's I'm just going to stay out here and talk to these crazies. And then
in hindsight, I realized I was just supposed to chill on a bench and read a book. I have no idea why I'm going in. I'm just stuck with you guys in this crowd.
Well, there were no benches. I think that was the problem.
Yep. And it was just very, very poor timing for Relay to have him become a transistor radio at that time from the gods.
Or perfect timing, because Azar really ran with it.
You did. You did. Got me carried off by a bunch of zealots.
It's right here.
They now think I'm their god. Oh, jeez.
Only good things can come of this.
That's right. I think I should get another Crux for my motivation of determine Azar's true motives towards me, and he's Relay's determined now that it's just to make Relay's life hell.
All right. So.
Yeah, that's not
I
an
just
empty
motive. Over that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you are going to come up with something today, depending on how things unfold. So don't rush to create it just yet. Something will certainly come up. Mm-hmm. Shut the door. Thank you.
I was checking on all my games I was downloading.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of games.
I know, buddy.
It is the best when your kids come in and start talking.
Oh, I love my kids. I can't get mad at them.
Exactly.
It's funny. When we're in D&D mode, I picture everyone in like a D&D kind of form.
Yeah.
And Voss, this overlord, fucking shaded GM character, and these are like his little gremlins coming in, like, oh yeah, boss,
right.
I was downloading some games. There's a lot of games, okay?
There's a lot of games.
And then another one busted, little bad, and just runs away. Like, God damn these things.
They are definitely imps, that's for damn sure. All right. We're 16 minutes in. It's time to officially start.
Gotcha.
We're going to pick up with Perrin because we kind of left off with him just wandering into the cathedral and not really getting anything done. And, of course, the shenanigans that the other two had, creating plenty of shenaniganry. So, you are inside the temple. You've walked into the main cathedral. It's really, really large inside. Vaulted ceilings, painted roof, pretty, whatever. You see lots of attendants milling about. You'd see a few people like worshipers sitting on the pews and whatnot. And what would you like to do?
Okay, did they? Oh, Perrin. We're going to Perrin. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, first I would go and pray for a little bit, and then after that I would try to find like the head cleric in charge. And
head cleric in charge. All right. When you go, there's a large altar at the front. Are you going to do the typical go up to the front of the cathedral and pray at the altar thing?
Yes.
Alrighty. When you get up to the front, and there are benches, little cushioned benches, so that you can kneel upon them in front of the altar, and you notice a little girl kneeling at the altar as well. And she's sitting there kneeling, and when you come, what's your prayer going to be? Like, give me an idea. You don't have to actually sit here and go into structure. Just give me the things you're going to address.
I'm going to, after a bunch of kind of just general traditional prayers, pray for the power to not only find the skulls, but the power to defeat the Lich and set free all of the innocent people under the curse. Because kind of my end game is to try to find the skulls, so I can find the lich and kill the lich.
When you do this prayer, do you like mumble it? Do you speak it, or is it all internal?
All internal.
Okay, just checking. After you you move away, you would notice. Yes, kill her through the window. You would notice a relatively high-ranking cleric, somebody who probably really knows what they're doing. He comes in through a side door from a rear area, and he's come out to the main area, and he's like doing cleric-y stuff. What do they do? Swing incenses around, light candles.
Yeah.
O sole Domine Christo, except it's Pelor.
Pelor. Unless it would be more cleric-y stuff like that if they were like, monk style clerics or something.
Well, in the D&D world, monks are all Shaolin monks.
Are
We do karate.
Yeah, we kick your trash.
All right. So you've said your prayer. What would you like to do now?
I'd want to go find some of the clerics and start asking them if they know anything about this specific lich and like people being abducted and cursed, and also how they deal with liches in general.
Do you just literally blurt out all the questions at once, or do you or do you go through it formulaically?
I kind of be like, oh, nice to see you, brother. Praise Pelor. Relay the story of what happened, and then kind of be like, do you know anything about? Have you heard anything about people being abducted by this lich?
He says, we have heard of people disappearing from the smaller towns. Even whole towns have disappeared close to the mountains. It is very worrisome. And he says, as far as dealing with liches, we do not know what to do or how to proceed. We do have monks working on it. Not Shaolin monks. Pelor monks. And they're certainly doing research into it, but it's slow going. I do find it interesting that you claim to have been cursed by this lich, and he motions to the young girl at the altar. He says, young Eliza here has also been cursed. I do not know how she got here, though.
Just kill her. Just kill her now.
One of my previous characters might have done that, MJ, but...
Remember Carl.
This one is just going to pistol whip her.
What was her name?
Her name is Eliza.
Eliza. I'll go over to Eliza and I'll say, young one, please tell me your story. I'd love to try to help you if I can.
Before you go over to her, the cleric catches you by the arm and he says, be warned, she's a little touched in the head. And he kind of swirls his index finger by his ear to indicate that she's a little bit crazy.
I appreciate the heads up, but I travel with those who are touched in the head, so I'm used to it.
That's awesome. She's like, has made eye contact with you ever since the cleric motioned towards her. And she's just been staring at you like right in the face, like unblinkingly this whole time. And you're going to walk over to her and address her?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to say, young one, please tell me your story. I've heard that you've been cursed. I want to see if I can help you.
Is it a curse or is it a blessing? There's a lot of people who go through life and don't know what the meaning of life is. And she looks down at her palm and she says, "This kind of gives you meaning in a very direct way, don't you think?"
That's a very optimistic way to look at it. Pelor works in mysterious ways.
She does the Pelor crossing of herself, the multiple pointed sun sigil across her chest, and she goes, "Yes, he does. Praise be to Pelor." She says, she says, after ejected from the Lich's sanctum, I was traveling with five other men. They were all adults from various walks of life. And the first night we went to sleep, one of them slit the throats of the other four. And when I saw him, I said, "Will you now too slit my throat?" And instead, he brought me here and to Devarnish, and he said, "There's a temple here, and they'll take care of you." And that's where I am now, so I don't really know what to do.
Well, my companions and I are going to travel to try to find the skulls. It's going to be a long and dangerous journey, but you're welcome to come with us if you'd like.
Her countenance definitely, gets better. She gets a smile across her face, and her eyes light up and sort of do a slight watering, and she goes, "You'll take me with you?"
I will, on a couple conditions. One is that you'll have to...
Before you could get out the conditions, she jumps up from her kneeling position and runs over and hugs you around the waist. "Oh, thank you, thank you."
You're very welcome. It's going to be dangerous. You're going to have to do what I say, and you're going to have to act as an adult and act as a member of the party to make sure that you're not slowing us down and putting ourselves in danger to protect you.
I will do my best. I will hide if need be.
I will teach you how to fight as well, so you can protect yourself.
Teach me how to fight.
And protect yourself and other innocents. This is you're going to have to put others in front of you to fight for innocence.
She swears to all your paladin-like tenets vehemently. She's very, devout, and she says, "That sounds like a good idea. I can go with you, and I can walk in your footsteps, and you will be like Pelor, and I will be like your blah blah blah." She recites some religious stuff that says, it's kind of like walking in the footsteps of Jesus, and that kind of thing. She knows lots of scripture.
This could be very interesting.
Or just run her through now. Just save her the problem.
Oh man, this could be what snaps Perrin and drives him insane.
Exactly.
We shall see.
We need some sort of mechanic in the game to reflect our insanity, like we did with the Weird World War.
Yeah, right. No, I figure. I mean, I'm willing to help anyone, so
I think it
seems like if I ran into anybody who was cursed, I'd invite them to come along to try to help them.
All right, I totally expected you to invite her along. That's why I didn't present her to like Azar, for instance.
Azar just cuts her head off.
Azar has the calling the herd motivation, so
that's right.
So at this point, teary-eyed, she more or less swears allegiance to you. Oh, Kevin, right, Kevin.
That's right. Oh, that's right. There's no Azar. It's only Kevin. There is only Kevin. There is no Azar. There is only Kevin.
All right, so that
Yes, it is. My bad.
sort of draws to a close. You can go and pursue other things unless you'd like to question her more directly about something.
No, I won't question her more directly at the moment. Well, actually, yeah, I will. Where are you from?
I just wanted to know that.
Let me look at your map. Sugarburg.
Sugarburg. Where's your
If you see
family? Were they abducted with you?
She says, "Oh well, I don't know because I was dropped off at the orphanage when I was very young. I've grown up in a convent, basically."
I'm sorry to hear that, but
It's a
we'll do our
blessing.
best to make sure that you.
Pelor works in mysterious
It's a
ways.
very optimistic.
Oh yeah.
That's a great attitude to take.
She sort of bows her head and thanks for your kind words.
Okay. And then I'll tell her to wait there for me, and I'm going to go talk to the cleric again.
Yes, sir. Oh, I never asked you your name. I'm sorry. My name is Eliza.
Perrin Brightblade.
Yes, Mr. Brightblade, I will wait here for you. And she bows her head and goes back to kneeling and praying at the altar.
Perfect. Man, this girl's going to try to convert more people than me. Right,
she's going to be the angel on your shoulder.
Yeah, right.
And Ozar's going to be the devil.
Oh, man. That's going to be quite entertaining.
Perrin's going to get the whole entire party wiped out.
See what we can do. So yeah, I want to go talk to the cleric again.
He sees you approaching and he goes, "So you're going to take the young cursed girl with you?"
Well, I want to try to save as many people as I can from this evil curse, and I figure I'm just going to lay it all out on the table. My goal is to find the skulls so I can find the lich, kill the lich, and free everyone from the curse, not just the 13 who find skulls.
He places his hand on your shoulder and he says, You're an honorable man. May Pelor smile upon you."
Thank you very much. Do you have any prayers or blessed items or any advice on dealing with the lich? I've never dealt with one before.
Liches aren't necessarily common. I mean, they exist, but only on the fringes. We don't busy ourselves with hunting liches. There's enough evil in the world, such as sickness and blah, blah, blah. And he goes on to like some evangelistic that word does not come off the tongue easily. Philanthropic sort of things about taking care of sick and homeless and things of that nature. Okay. And he says, we leave the hunting of liches to those who would hunt them.
Who normally hunts them?
He says, I'm but a cleric of Pelor, and I take care of my own. I could not answer that question for you, unfortunately.
Well, I appreciate all your help, brother. Please say a prayer for us.
I will indeed. And he says, "Oh, we have been looking into her curse, and I should tell you that the curse comes with hidden meaning to it. We're not quite sure what to make of it, but if the curse is removed, it's tied to some sort of shackles, some sort of magical barrier. And if the curse is removed, it will weaken this barrier for each curse we would remove, so we're unsure how to proceed. What would a lich be trying to weaken the prison of by tying curses to it? And it makes me wonder, what is the purpose of his curse? Is it to find skulls, or is it to have people remove the curse? I'm unsure.
I don't know, but all I know is if I find the skulls, I have a better chance of finding the Lich himself, and then cleansing the world of its evil.
This is very true. I hope you know what you're doing. These skulls are definitely a point of worry, I suppose. If a lich wants them, they can't be good, and if you go and find them and bring them into the world, then what? Now they're hidden and they're lost, and if they are given to man, what could happen?
It's a risk I'm willing to take. I don't see how I have any other choice. If we fail to find the skulls, he'll just curse more people to find them himself, so I might as well plunge head on and do the best I can.
He sort of gives you a small bow, and he says, "You're an honorable man, and I wish you luck on your endeavors."
I appreciate that. Thank you.
May Pelor be with you, and he crosses himself with the multi-pointed sun sigil.
Perfect. I'm going to go pick up Eliza and head out of the temple to find my traveling companions. Maybe.
Good
All right.
luck.
While you were discussing with the cleric just now, you couldn't help but notice that from within the temple, you can hear the general clamor of the city is increasing. It's getting louder out there, and you notice some of the attendants sort of looking back towards the door in curiosity as the city rumbles, so to speak. And Eliza comes up to you as you approach her, and she says, "What's going on, Perrin? Mr. Brightblade, I'm sorry, Sir Brightblade. What should I call you?"
Please call me Perrin.
"Okay, Perrin." And she kind of blushes a little bit and hangs her head. "What's going on?"
I'm not sure. There's some people stirring up trouble in town. I'm sure they mean well, but it's nothing we can concern ourselves with at this time. We need to find my friends and get out of town.
They mean well. What are they trying to do?
Honestly, I wasn't listening to them very much when they were talking, but it sounded something about redistributing the wealth back to the people instead of the Guild of Lords.
She kind of gets an annoyed look on her face, and she says, "Let none envy that devils have riches in hell."
I don't even know what to say to that.
Great, just great. Now we got two lawful zealots in the party.
Oh man.
This is going downhill. This is going downhill and downhill quick.
Oh my god. Too funny.
As you exit the front gates of the Temple of Pelor, or the cathedral, and then there's a large courtyard and the gated area further out, you could see through the bar what looks like to be, for all intents and purposes, perhaps rioting, chaos for sure. It's not exactly sure. You're not exactly sure what's going on, but it is. It's not looking too good.
As we come outside, I will tell Eliza, "Quick, Eliza, stay behind me," and then I'll ask, before we leave the gates, I'll ask the guards what's going on.
One of them turns back towards you and he says, "The two men that you came with, one of them appears to be possessed and the other one a charlatan of some sort. You shouldn't hang with them." Well, they probably wouldn't say hang. You probably shouldn't travel with them.
Do you hang out with them?
There must be some misunderstanding. They're good men.
And at that, we're going to cut back to those two good men.
Behold, no, your prophet, your myth now!
Let me down!
Instant chaos. I love it. They are ushering you back to this corner over here where Morthos was. Morthos, that's his name, right? Morthos Zygonon. So he has. They're carrying you that way, and you could see excitement building in them. They feel like they have found a treasure, a diamond in the rough, so to speak. You are the prophet of Erythnol, and Kevin is like your second in command. You're like his hype man of Erythnol. It's very
Erythnol in the house. What?
Yeah, exactly. So they're very excited, and they are taking you to Morthos.
Yeah, I think I'm going to need to make some sort of check to see if Relay's going to actually lose it.
Make some sort of check to determine losing it.
Yeah.
All right, just give me... I guess give me the parameters by which you would lose it. What is driving you to potentially lose it?
Okay, because he is a reclusive, doesn't like to be subjugated, and now he's
okay. So this appeals to your high concept and your trouble simultaneously.
Right. It's like all over the board. Everything bad that could happen to Relay is happening right now.
Man, you've only got 5 potential, or did you not record that you got some back?
No, I only have 5.
Jesus Christ. It's a good thing you have so much Crux.
I know. I only have 5 because I actually got down to like just a few potential, and I used some last session, just a couple of them, and then I only had the recovery 5, so I was at 5.
All right.
Should I only have 5 recovery too? Or 6 potential?
Yep.
Basically, it's give me an idea of if you were to lose it, what would you do? What does losing it entail for you? Because he handling of gods is a third party thing, so you losing it isn't necessarily going to trigger that. It's not.
No. I wasn't thinking anyway that way. I was just kind of thinking mental status of Relay and or how far bad he would fail the check would produce maybe casting of a spell that he knows how to do.
So if you lose your mind, you're going to cast a spell. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if he depending on the level of the loss.
Divine caprice.
Exactly.
Is that what you're looking at?
Exactly.
Ooh.
Exactly. Going to cause a little bit of chaos here.
All right.
Yep, depending on the check, that is.
I'm going to set it at an obstacle 2 will, because will check, because it's hitting one level of obstacle for each of the things that it's hitting.
Right.
It can potentially grow, but at this point, they're in no way being malevolent to you, and they're taking you against your will to a certain degree, but you basically have the grounds to impose things upon them, not necessarily the other way around. So I'm going to set it in an obstacle 2 will, just to see how things unfold. Okay.
And I'm going to roll it just straight off his will too, with no potential.
I get it. You want to do crazy shit. I understand.
Well, no, just to see where it goes. So. Ooh.
Wow, 2 1s.
2 1s. Holy cow.
So you can't even use Crux on this. That's the best part.
I know, because I did roll 2 1s. Wow.
2 dead ducks.
That's horrible. Okay. He did only make it.
It's a success.
Yeah.
It's a success at a cost. So
is this one where I could get experience?
Exactly. So record 1 XP in will.
Okay, I got that.
And then the cost is this is to not lose your shit. So you're not going to lose your shit in the sense that you're going to do anything crazy. However, I am going to put a light consequence on you of angry. And I can't spell angry. So it's going to be sort of the case of don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Okay.
And we'll see where that goes. So instead of, from this point forward, instead of reclusive Rayleigh, I want to see pissed off Rayleigh and how that manifests.
Perfect.
But I would definitely warn you in a meta sense that if you're in a city where there's this giant underbelly that's trying to more or less have a revolution, and if they were to take it over, and they do seem to be quite a few of them, something stupid, the consequences could lead to subjugation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you don't kill them all, you might end up in a dungeon or something along those lines. So that would be something. Rayleigh's not stupid, is what I'm getting at. He has to understand the drawbacks to his powers.
Oh, this could be great. We could have like Perrin and his new lawful stupid companion also try to break me out.
Lawful stupid? What a jerk. Okay, so going back into character, Relay has become angry. So does that mean struggling against your bonds? Or does that mean cursing them? Or does that just mean setting your jaw in not saying a word and giving them the cold shoulder? How do you become angry with them?
So if I'm replacing reclusive with angry chaotic cleric, I would see that he would probably start verbally attacking, just kind of, put me down, let me go, those kind of things.
They say, "Sir, we cannot put you down until we have you meet Morthos. It is very important. You might be the catalyst that allows us to finally take Devarnish for our own."
Relay's not liking this at all. he just continue on wanting them, trying to struggle to get free of them. Because I figure, you said they picked him up and they're carrying him off, kind of like the sports thing where they throw him up on their shoulders or whatever. Is that what's happening?
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Or are they just walking with him?
I imagine them walking with you with elbows locked so you couldn't get away. But the idea of the picking you up over their head is hilarious.
Like celebratory. They're like, "Yeah, we found our conduit to the gods to destroy."
You're sitting on the shoulders of 2 different men and they have your legs wrapped up. So you're like cussing at them, and the ones carrying you probably can't even really hear you. And it's like one off to the side who's like, "No, we have to take you to Morthos." So in that case, Kevin will also be crowd surfing to a degree. How do you react to this situation as you see Relay getting clearly irritated and flailing and screaming at them to put him down? Like, you've never actually seen angry Relay, except for maybe that time he called down lightning and paralyzed everyone.
Well, considering he had just done the channeling outburst of chains and stuff, I'm a little worried to see what this will bring. But I'm rolling with it to keep up the guys that we have going right now. And they're like, "Yes, bring us to Morthos."
And a relay turns over to Kevin and is like, "Shut up! Get me down!"
I kind of look at him like, "Dude, come on,
I don't understand you. Put me down. Get me down."
All right. So you guys are finally brought into this triangular area here. Remember, this is somewhat of a bazaar, a meeting place. You'd see a butcher shop, a bakery, herbs, things of that nature, all kinds of food in this general area. And Morthos is still standing on top of the flatbed wagon and leading the cheers. And when he sees you coming, you two coming on the shoulders of the people, he quiets them down. Everyone sort of gets quiet. And he hops down from the wagon and he walks over to the group. And he says, "What's going on here?" And Declare, the people who've brought you over say, they tell the story. They say that these are prophets of Erethnil. They explain that you channeled the Erethnil, and they're sort of idolizing you. Morthos is definitely picking up on the sort of worship of you. They tell about how Kevin has to bear the curse of his gilded gloves, and he's got to use his gilded gloves to fight the power. And Morthos looks at your hands and takes note of it and kind of raises his eyebrow.
I hold up my fist to him. I keep a really straight, stern face.
I figure they would have probably, dropped Relay down from their shoulders and Azure down from their shoulders down.
A very tight circle has formed as the crowd pushes to hear you, and they give you guys a wide berth, and you two and Morthos are standing within this circle. It will be very hard for you guys to push out. Obviously, they don't want you going anywhere.
Well, Relay is pretty competent at athletics, so he's going to begin looking for a plan to get himself out of here.
Kevin places his hand on Relay's shoulder in kind of a calming manner. It's like, it's going to be okay, I promise. Like, I whisper between just the two of us. And then I walk over to Morthos and I'm like, "You must be this Morthos we're so desperate to meet. Trust me, we insisted. They brought us over here, and we need
He waves you off. He waves you off, and he begins pacing back and forth. And he turns towards the crowd, and he says, "Erethnol lives in everyone's mind equally. He is an idea. He's not an idea that you have, but he's an idea that has you. There are no prophets of Erethnol." And he turns and points to Relay, and he says, "I saw that cleric move through here with a paladin of Pelor himself. And we all know that Pelor," and he does air quotes, "works in mysterious ways." He says, "These men are charlatans." There's a bit of a confused clamor among the crowd. What do you guys do?
Why is there a doom on the table?
I don't see one.
Yeah,
very bottom. Yeah.
Are we on the right page? Oh, there it is.
I see one now.
It was down at the bottom. Someone must have grabbed it and drug it off.
Yeah.
I was able to grab it for some reason.
Yeah. Well, you can draw from the doom.
Yeah, you're allowed to draw.
Uh-oh.
You can draw a doom if you want. That's cool.
Yeah, Eliza's doomed.
So, what is your response, you two? He's just called you charlatans and agents of Pelor in front of this large crowd, this raucous, angry crowd that's been chanting all morning.
This is the guy they were taking us to, right?
Yeah, this is Morthos. So This guy declares that you guys are agents of Pelor and charlatans. And he says that erythanol exists equally in everybody's soul, so there are no prophets. So you guys have to be charlatans.
I think Azar should start saying some things to turn the crowd against Morthos.
I clear my throat a little bit, and I turn to the crowd with my hands up. It is true. We came to this city with a paladin of Pelor. We are here for a reason.
They start jeering you. The crowd jeers you as soon as you say paladin of Pelor.
I know. Fuck that guy, am I right? But hear me out. This paladin is not true to Pelor. He knows of his heathenish ways. Pelor. He looks around to make sure Perrin's not in the crowd. Pelor has guided us here with his heathenish ways so that Eurythnal may show us the way. You all saw it. This man, he channeled the chains of binding. I say as I look around thinking of what to say. And did he not speak the words that we are all equal and that we must, and I open my hand to like a child in the crowd, we must overthrow the Gilded Lords. Exactly, little one. And I pick him up and I hold him to the crowd. Listen to this child.
You see Morthos talking to some gentlemen on the side, and when I say gentlemen, I don't mean that at all. Basically thugs for all intents and purposes. And he sees him talking, and he kind of nods over to you guys, and he says, "So you can't remove your gloves because you've been somehow cursed by whom exactly?"
We've been cursed by an agent of chaos, a lich.
And he says, "Perhaps I can help you in removing those gloves."
Please, is there honestly a way to do that?
He motions to his two thugs, and they grab you by each arm so that you can't move, and he walks you over to the flatbed cart. And Morthos walks over to the butcher shop and picks up a meat cleaver and puts it on his shoulder and kind of walks over. And the thugs stretch your hand out over the flatbed cart, and he turns towards Rayleigh, and he says, "Tell me again what is it that your god teaches? If your right hand offends thee, chop it off and cast it aside." And he slams the meat cleaver into your wrist, severing your hand.
Oh, nice.
To Azar?
To Azar, he chops his hand off, and then he picks the hand up and he casts it aside, and he says, "There, I have solved your problem."
All right, divine caprice is coming out.
All right, what does that look like?
So, Relay's angry, and this guy is just causing all sorts of even more havoc. And then all of a sudden, he's hoping that for some possible chance Azar could get him out of this situation. And as he sees the situation start turning, rapidly, quickly, and when he sees Morthos pick up the cleaver, he kind of gets the idea of what's going to happen, and he's going to cast it at that same time that as the cleaver is going down onto Azar's hand. And he's going to so he opens himself to the plane of the divine and summons a guardian, hopefully.
All right.
But I will leave that.
Mark your daily spell.
Yeah.
If you haven't already.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's the second one. So, yep.
Oh, holy shit! I am holding that.
This is going to be.
Yep.
This is going to be.
You're not holding it anymore.
Have you used 2 daily spells, MJ, since you guys rested?
I used a Sanctuary last session on.
You rested.
Oh, right.
I think, didn't you?
We didn't rest in between that. We were just coming down the mountain.
Right. He did use one. Oh no, you guys did sleep on the mountain.
We did the whole mind thing. We should be clean. Except
remember
me.
with the whole hallucinations? That was resting, not just hallucinating.
I thought that I did something on that with my sanctuary for Perrin somehow. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I just didn't check it off. Okay.
Well, if you want to keep Tear.
No,
I just can't remember.
Yeah, I'll take the one then. So.
All right. Okay, so you get the gist of what's going to happen when he says, if your right hand offends thee, chop it off. And he's bringing the cleaver down, and you react at this point. Mm-hmm. Now, because you are in a very uncomfortable situation for you, and you're also struggling with being relatively angry, and that certainly hinders your ability to properly channel, and also just the generalized fear of being in this situation, and you don't want your hand chopped off and whatnot. I'm going to set this at an obstacle 3, mm-hmm. which is demanding for you to successfully pull off Divine Caprice.
Okay. What do I have to roll? I guess it's...
It would be whatever your casting stat is, which I believe you decided was will.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. So we're going to do a 3.
Or it could be insight. Did you say insight? I thought you were insight and Perrin as will.
That's right. Well, mine's
deceive.
Yeah, because my insight and will are the same level anyway. I'm trained in it, so...
Well, it matters where you record your XP, is why I would specify which one.
Okay.
If you want it to be will, that's fine. You just have to specify one and stick to it.
Yeah, I would think it would be more the will with his spells, because the way that Relay uses the spells. Then
that's perfectly acceptable. Insight. I'm not naysaying. I'm just saying tie it down to one stat and let's stick to it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll stick with will there. And we got to do 3. So he's going to drop. Let's do, ob 3. Let's drop 2 potential on that also. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay.
Do you want to succeed at a cost?
I can re-roll, can I, with the Crux?
Crux does allow you to perform rerolls. It does indeed.
The minor cost could be like the tips of my fingers get cut off as the blade gets moved away.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, no. Your hand is gone. This is to determine the type of guardian that comes and saves you. Is it one that levels the city to save you? Or one that...
Saving us from what?
Cast a... Huh?
Saving us from what?
The crowd. And this Morthos, I think he needs to be decapitated. Okay, so I when I re-roll, I just do 1 re-roll, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 6.
Oh, wow.
Let's explode that sucker. Let's see if I can get some bonuses. I can explode that, right?
Yeah, you could. It's going to cost you another Crux.
Okay, we'll throw one out there. Explode how many? Just 1, right?
Yeah, just 1 d6. And if it turns up
1. Well, I guess that was a 5 though. So
no, it's a success. It's a 5. Yeah. It's a 5. So you've got
4,
2, 3, 4 successes.
Yes.
Let's see what manifests.
A Belrog.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
A red dragon.
In fact, what manifests is
a construct in a suit of armor of Pelor. with a long spear. Lulu.
That I'll take.
Right as Perrin shows up, he sees this giant Pelor thing. He's like, ah, ah, ah.
All right, we're gonna go with the Pelor construct.
Oh,
stands
yes.
It has a very large tower shield, and it puts itself between you and the group. And with his spear, he turns around to the butt side and he kind of catches it under Kevin's arm, and he pulls Kevin back behind his shield, and the crowd starts dispersing chaotically and running away. And he's basically backing towards an alley. And he stands and drops his shield in front of the alley, like in a none shall pass sort of way, and you guys have a free alley behind you. And he it says something in some sort of disjointed sort of construct voice, you know, in the name of Pelor, you shall not touch these two. And he slams his spear into the ground, and it sort of quakes a little bit and makes some of them fall around, and a few of the buildings crack.
That sounds pretty
It's
cool.
intensity. And so the craziness of the city, the clamor of the city has increased, and that is what Pelor was hearing. I mean, not Pelor, Perrin was hearing inside. So yes, I knew that they would make some shit happen, Perrin. It's inevitable.
It was inevitable.
It was inevitable.
What kind of control do I have over this guardian?
Meanwhile, what has caused the insanity? What?
What kind of control do I have over this guardian?
None really. The way the guardians interact is they guard you and somehow save you. The way he has saved you is he's imposed himself to where no one can come down this tunnel. I mean, down this alleyway, and he's put his tower shield there like a giant wall. So there's chaos. You hear chaos elsewhere, and you guys actually hear calling from around the corner. Morthos's voice, and he says, "You see, they used Pelor against us like an iron hand to enslave us." And
Like
you know, at this point, the sounds become more violent, I guess. It is gone from people fleeing from their life to more in the direction of a riot, I guess.
Okay, what is relay? I mean, I think his consequence of anger would probably turn to something else now because of the situation, and it's given him a moment of control in the situation. How do I have to use one?
Just a second.
Okay.
Just a second.
Kind of a siren going off in the background.
So did Azar actually lose his hand?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep.
It's gone.
Man.
But he's going to replace it with Carl, man.
That's what I thought about it, but maybe not.
He's going to kind of sew it on there. But are you like bleeding out right now? Then
kind of.
There's a main vein in there.
The way I'm going to play it up is I'm going to be cackling like a madman as I get carried away by this giant Pelor thing. And I'm totally going to try to get an attack on Morthos first. But
good.
That's
what I was like, man, put a dagger right through his temple.
I doubt Joe's going to let us kill Morthos, but I'm going to attack him.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
You guys are welcome to try to attack Morthos, but you have a giant imposing construct has blocked your way at this point.
Well, I was going to say that I did it as I got pulled away. Like, when the hand went off and like things were going down in those 3 seconds of slow-mo, like what I would do.
Your hand is off.
And I imagine that's
I would assume that's a pretty intense pain. Almost, I mean, there's a lot of people who just pass out from that in real life. I mean, and you're a foppish warlock. You're not a tried.
I was ready to flay my arm open last time.
That's a good argument. Tell you what, even though I didn't make it one of your consequences, if I were to test you on it, I would make it at least a severe, so you'd have to make a ub3 will to try and not basically just sort of not faint, but sort of be out on your feet for a few seconds in disarray as you're dealing with the fact you just had your fucking hand chopped off.
Yeah, so Relay is going to also at the same time be, partially worried about the health of Azure for some odd reason. I don't know why.
You do love me.
And so he's.
All right, do you want to make that will check real quick before we move on? Do you want to make that will check, Jacob, and try to do something, or do you just want to roll with being drug off by the construct? Because it all happened really fast.
Is Perrin with us yet or no?
No. Perrin, at this point, has heard the clamor within the city, and that's it. He's still in the temple.
Perrin's going to come. He's going to see the construct, and he's going to come slicing through the crowd.
How about this, then?
Taking limbs and
as
arms
my
off.
hand gets cut off and the whole construct gets summoned, you hear like almost a grotesque like growl roar thing coming from me, like like it sounds demonic, and I just kind of cackle as I fade away and kind of pass out, and I don't even realize Pelor dragged me away. I just like pass out with this fucking sick grin on my face, holding my wrist. I just accept.
Okay, so you're unconscious then?
Yeah.
All right. Well, when he gets dumped behind the construct, you see that he's unconscious, Relay, and the construct is stepping backwards. What are you gonna do?
Oh boy, because Relay's mind is going into flight, but he was also thinking of healing Azir too to help him so he doesn't die. So I would think he would probably go in the process of healing first and then flight in the second one. The question is if he could command the construct. I mean, is the construct just holding his ground there to block anyone coming towards?
He's just blocking.
Okay, so he wouldn't come with us, and you couldn't tell the construct to pick Azar up and protect us or whatever. Pray to Pellar. All right, so he's going to try to heal first.
The nature of the defending thing, if you guys were actively in a fight, but you had the inclination of fleeing, you wanted to get out of there.
Right.
So it's helping you get out of there. So it's manifesting in a way to help you escape.
Okay.
If you had the intention of slaying all the people, the Guardian would have manifested a lot differently.
Okay.
But
all right, then
you didn't specify that you were trying to slaughter all these citizens. So
no.
I thought
so. Then Relay will have a out of character moment for Azir, and he will grab him and sling him up over his shoulder, and then tear off with him.
Okay.
And the most direct route away from all this shenanigans and stupidity.
My hand is just bleeding all over his back.
Yep.
You as you're running down the hall, the alleyway, a door swings open, and an older man with a long beard he opens the door and he says, "Come in here, come in here."
Okay. What's the man sort of look like? Old,
he sort of
trustworthy,
looks
someone that Relay would perceive as friendly, of people that he's made contact with in the past that look a certain way or something like that.
Yeah, he has I guess you'd say like wise eyes, like he's a wise man for all intents and purposes.
It reminds Relay a little bit of Prath.
Sure.
Okay.
Older version of Prath for sure.
Okay. I think that would then
Prath the blacksmith, not the tiefling asshole.
right. Yeah, Pratt, his friend, the blacksmith from the city they were in. Okay. All right. So he'll follow the old man then. Really runs away. Here, take him. I'm out of here.
You in,
yeah.
And as you set down on a table, and he fetches some things that he could dress the wound, and he says, "You are a cleric of Pelor?"
No.
Yet you're touched by Pelor and call his constructs down to protect you.
Yeah, I guess so. But no, I'm not a follower or a sympathizer with any of the deities. So he's like explaining to this guy without trying to give away too much about his gifts and abilities, because then he knows that people try to subjugate him when he explains to them what happens with him. So he's being very vague in his explanation, even though the man is kind of there helping.
So you just sit there with your hands out and let whichever god touch you as they wish?
We need to bind his wounds.
He's working on the wounds. He says it. His hand, his wrist will be okay. I cannot save his hand though.
Okay.
And he turns back again and he says, "Your gods, you don't have one chosen. They simply choose you at random."
How to answer that question?
As you get confused and obviously you're trying to be somewhat evasive,
right?
He says, "When you leave your hand out, that's worth a handful of rye or a poke in the eye." And he sort of just grins at you and continues to work on the guy on Azar's wrist, Kevin's wrist.
Yeah, and Relay's having a really hard time of hiding his willingness not to say anything. So that I'm sure the man would kind of see that and sort of see in his countenance that, yes, he is exactly what the man was explaining, but he's not wanting to say it.
Right. He says, "What is your purpose in life here, good cleric?"
I'm not a cleric. I'm a slave.
Oh, you're not a cleric? So you're a slave and you have no control over your own destiny?
It would seem to be so. These sort of friends, I don't know if you would call them friends or not, just seem to be another something in the path of my life that just leads with no purpose.
He says, "If you have no purpose, why do you keep going?"
Pure survival.
Wouldn't it be evil? Wouldn't it be easier just to kill yourself if there's no purpose?
And Relay will kind of stop back and look at him and go like, "What are you talking about?" Because he kind of takes everything on a literal level.
Do what now?
He Relay takes everything on a literal level. So the guy says, "Wouldn't it be easier just to kill yourself?" And so he kind of gets a concerned look across his face, like the man is telling him to kill himself. So now he's worried about, all right, what's this man's motivations towards Relay now that he's sort of figuring out that he is a conduit of the gods?
Well, he's very straightforward. This is by no means somebody trying to manipulate you. He's asking you very pointedly, if you have no purpose and you're just a slave to everything, why don't you just kill yourself? The ultimate escape from slavery.
Yeah, it's like, no, my mother would be very disappointed if I did that.
So then you do have a purpose.
And what would that purpose be?
I'm asking you. You have to find it.
And so Relay's anger will kind of stem up a little bit as the man's, this stranger of a man that's being helpful is, being poignant and not offering any sort of advice or anything to Relay, and understanding that the man does not understand all the things that Relay's been through, and his anger will kind of seep back up. And I don't think you understand what's going on. I don't think you know what I've been through and the things that I've had to do.
In my day, I've heard that speech said 1,000,000 times. Everyone thinks that they have it harder than everybody else. Such is nature. And everyone has to find the reason why they exist that makes all of that worth it. Until you find the reason that that's all worth it, you can never be happy.
Well, my reason is just to live and be free of this curse.
So you're a nihilist.
What is a
nihilist? Live only to live.
Correct. That's all I've ever wanted. But it seems that from around every single corner that I go, there's always someone there trying to tell me what to do and what I should do and shouldn't do, or trying to use the things, the gifts that have been given to me in my life for their own gain, when all I want to do is just exist and live and then be done with this life.
Do you know why I think you're a cleric of Pelor?
No. Why?
Because you open up to the gods like nobody I've ever met. Has become willfully blind. He's become distant.
He has, but also you've not seen the other type of gods that have manifest through me. It's not just Pelor.
When the doors of your temple are open, who cannot enter?
Who cannot enter? Everyone can enter. Yeah, everyone can enter.
Exactly.
And it's not even in my control. Period. It just happens.
Is it?
It could happen right now, and you could see a demon come here and eat your face off.
Tell you what, I think you need some chamomile tea. Pour you some tea. And he turns towards Azar / Kevin, and he sort of wakes you up out of your reverie, and your hand is all done, and he says, "Are you doing okay?"
I'm fine. Just contemplating things. As I'm sitting there thinking about revenge, I've seemed to return to my darker state that Rayleigh noticed when we first met.
Right.
So, are you guys with the Erithnals? Do you believe in overthrow?
I believe in mass murder of the Erithnals.
We are not with those zealot people. They seem like they're crazy and not of the right mind.
They are certainly crazy. At this point, we're going to cut back to Perrin. Perrin, you are coming out of the front gate. You've just talked to the guy, asked them what's going on, and you see at this point, for all intents and purposes, a riot out there. People stealing stuff and tearing down things, and it's a lot of craziness. What would you like to do?
I'll ask the guards, Aren't you going to call the city watch? Shouldn't somebody stop these people?
Well, we could try. We could put in a call to the city watch, but at this point, half of them are red bands as well. They all adhere to this idea of equality under this erythnol. Chaotic.
I would say so. Since they had carried Kevin and Relay away, did the riots kind of move away from the temple?
Well, they moved away from the temple, and then the whole chopping of the hand and the summoning of the arc, the whatever the fuck it was, robot.
Yeah.
Construct.
Construct.
The summoning of the construct happened, and things exploded into open riot. So the construct, obviously, they've decided it's not a threat because it's just guarding the passageway. And so they're going around and basically anti-Gilded Lords, anti-Pelor riot, where they're like, if they see a banner of Pelor, they'll tear it down. If they see a Gilded Lord, they'll drag him down, and that kind of thing. It's a full-on riot.
Okay. Well, I am completely wrapped in my faith, and I think we'll be we lose Baron in 3, 2. I'm completely confident that Pelor will protect Eliza and I. I will walk out of the gate into the crowd and start looking for Kevin and Relay.
And you see the construct of Pelor.
Exactly. When you step out past the gate and you look this way down the street, you see a giant construct of Pelor. Stands like 10 feet taller than the crowd. It's obvious.
And it's obvious that it's Pelor?
Oh, yeah. It's some sort of exarch of Pelor, like an angel of Pelor, some manifestation of his goodness. It would have the colors, it would have like a sun crown on it or something along those lines. You'd look at it and you'd be like, oh yeah, Pelor.
I will move towards the construct.
All right, it's a pretty long way to get over to the construct, and you're moving through the raucous crowd. Most of them are like peasant people for the most part. They would be lower class people. Some of them, middle, whatever. But they're not fighters. And here you are, an armored of Pelor with a big two-handed sword. They might run up and try to sucker punch you.
And holding the hand of the little girl.
Yeah, exactly. So they might try to sucker punch you, but nobody is openly going to try to fight you in any way. They're going to give you a relatively wide berth as you move through the crowd, as they're somewhat cowardly in their endeavors, I guess you would say. As you're moving through the crowd, you see a carriage, obviously of some wealth. And the crowd at this point has begun to produce Molotov cocktails, and they've lit it and thrown it onto the carriage. And the driver from the carriage has been dragged down from a seat, and they're beating him in the street in front of you.
Oh, man. I will walk over.
Perrin, shouldn't we do something?
Yeah. I'm going to walk over to the crowd that's attacking the driver and just kind of like come up behind one of them, grab him by like the back of the neck and the waist, and like throw him off to the side.
All right. You throw him back.
That's
and
the time for a scream.
Oh, my sound crew.
Oh God.
Well, would you like to do some sort of physique-based intimidation of the group since you threw him out over there, or do you want to? How would you like to proceed?
I definitely look like no nonsense moving with a purpose, kind of a scowl on my face.
Holding little girl's hand.
Holding little girl's hand.
This image is hilarious. Little girl's hand, big paladin angrily flings someone ragdoll style from beating a driver of a carriage. All right, I'm just going to put this at an obstacle 2 for you to do a physique style intimidate just to scare them off.
Okay. I am going to use a potential as well. Oh, jeez.
That's a 2. That's all you needed.
Yeah, I was hoping to do better than that.
The one who you threw runs away. And then the others spin around and realize what's happened, and they begin to scatter from the coach driver. And but at this point, the coach is on fire, and you see, or the carriage is on fire, and the door swings open. This man there, and he is wearing a sigil of Pelor around his neck. He's obviously a wealthy gentleman, and he says, "You there, Paladin of Pelor, I beseech you, get me out of this chaos."
Of course, sir. Happy to help anybody in trouble. Please follow us.
He hops down, and he looks down at his driver. The driver is unconscious. He's like, "Oh, Peter. Oh, what should we do with Peter? Can you carry him?"
Of course. I'll pick Peter up and put him over my shoulder. And I'll tell Eliza, stay close to this man. He's a worshiper of Pelor like us, and like have her go walk over and grab his hand.
She goes over, she takes the older man's hand. What would you like to do? You have a beaten driver on your shoulder, rich man in the middle of a bunch of socialist rioters. What do you want to do?
You got to stop bringing all the straights on.
Have the driver kind of thrown over my left shoulder, and I will take out my longsword in my right hand and keep walking towards the construct.
Oh,
kind of giving anyone who comes close to me a menacing glare.
You're moving relatively easy through the crowd because, like I said, most of them are just commoners. They have no desire to approach a well-armed paladin, and the little girl trails behind, but you quickly develop sort of a crowd that follows you around, and they're hissing and jeering at you and saying something along the lines of "the paladins of Pelor save the gilded lords," and they're pointing to the other guy, and you pick up this guy's name's Sir Reginald, and he's a gilded lord, and they call you his lackey, his lapdog, so on and so forth. And they begin throwing bits of food at you or garbage or something like that. They're being jackasses. They're keeping a wide breadth around you so you can't slice at them, but they're being jackasses. They're throwing trash on you and stuff. The little girl, the coach, obviously, on your shoulder.
Kind of whisper a prayer to Pelor to keep us safe, and I will keep walking towards the construct. Kind of just grin and bearing it.
You see Morthos. He's climbed back up on top of the thing, and he says, "Oh, look, it's the paladin. Oh, and he has a gilded lord in tow."
Oh, boy.
This guy. We just wanted to come to the city, find the swamp, and leave. And
he says, and this paladin says he just was here to pray, yet here he ushers a gilded lord through us. He is here to insult us. It is a slap in our face. And the people begin chanting, some disjointed thing that's basically something along the lines of "fuck Pelor," more or less, or "fuck the Gilded Lords." And you see Morthos is flanked by his thugs, some large men with clubs. And at that point, you see the construct slowly edge out the corner of the shield, and you see that there's a pathway that goes behind him, and it strikes you as almost like a gift from Pelor.
I'll start moving towards the path that's opened up, and I'll yell to Morthos, "Morthos, I have no quarrel with you. I'm just here to protect those who are being attacked. There's other ways to achieve your means. You don't have to attack people in the street."
He sends some curses back your way, like, "Oh, shut up," stupid. He's not hearing it. And he says, "Oh, yes, just here to protect people, right? Just here to protect the Gilded Lords. Such a lapdog." And at that point, you pass through, and the power shield shuts like a door behind you. What would you like to do?
I will thank the construct and ask it if it knows, if it's seen my friends.
It says in that disjointed construct voice, "They went down this alleyway."
They went down this alleyway. Praise be to Pelor.
Praise be to Pelor.
Thank the construct.
You can see, actually, Eliza, she says, you can speak with the constructs of Pelor?
Anything is possible if you believe in Pelor.
Indeed. He works in such mysterious ways. What is that trail of blood? And she points to a very obvious trail of blood leading down the alleyway. Someone's losing a lot of blood.
Probably nothing good, but we should follow it. Good eye, Eliza.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And we'll follow the trail of blood.
He's got a cross on his face. That guy looks a little bit scary to be
That's true.
To Pelor.
Well, the sun, it's kind of flamey. Yeah, as close as I could find.
It looks like lava is pouring out of his belt buckle.
Yeah.
So you follow the trail of blood, and it leads to a door. And Eliza says, "I think they went in there."
I'm going to kick open the door.
We don't need
kick
to
open the door.
Burst in.
Yeah,
you kick open the door right as you see this old man right here knelt down in front of Kevin, tending a wound. You see blood going in, and right at that time, you hear him say something about, "I believe in mass murder," or something like that.
Oh, man.
And the guy sort of hops back, and he turns towards the door, and he says, "Friends of yours?" And you guys turn back. You see Perrin at the door with an unconscious man over his shoulder, a Gilded Lord, and a little girl in tow.
With my sword out.
What did you bring
with the
home
sword out.
now?
Relay looks over and is like, just got more complicated.
Great. Perrin found us.
And he brought more people, literally.
What in Pelor's name happened out there? I leave you alone for 15 minutes and there's a riot in the city.
How does the old man react when he sees Perrin come through with the Gilded Lord?
doesn't miss a step, and his calm demeanor continues to tend the wound. He is unshakably calm.
Wow.
Kevin, your hand, what happened?
A dead man cut it off.
A zombie cut off your hand? No humor.
Wait, there's zombies here?
He's so literal.
The old man interjects and says, "Your friend has become consumed with vengeance."
Kevin, but Kevin's so nice.
Where did you get that sweet roll, Perrin?
But Kevin, he's got such a friendly name. Kevin Kevinson.
Kevin wouldn't hurt a fly. He's recently become a what's the word?
An avatar.
Like when you join a religion.
Convert.
Convert. I kept wanting to say convict, and that wasn't right.
Yeah.
Well, not yet.
He's already a convict.
Of Pelor.
He's a convert.
I just look at the old man and kind of shake my head like, no, that's not the case. While still holding my wrist and just kind of like being careful not to hurt it.
I'll turn to Sir Reginald and say, "Sir, can you help us get out of the city? We need to leave here."
Oh, I can do what I can for sure, but things are looking grim.
Do you feel safe in the city? Do you need to come with us?
I have my guards at my house. If I can get back to my manor, I should be fine, in theory. Leonin's estate is number 11 down here.
11.
And an alleyway over here.
And we're like just east of 15. Okay. So
you guys are somewhere in here. Yeah. 15. I don't even see 15.
Would it be possible for us to follow you to your house to lay low for a little bit until the town settles down, and then we can make our exit?
Well, we could certainly try. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Are you not from here?
We're not from here. We actually have business to attend to elsewhere that is of the most pressing timeline.
Eliza pipes up and she says, "We've been cursed by a lich. We must die or find skulls."
Instead of like admonishing her and being like, "Shut up," I'll be like, "Well said, Eliza."
And Reginald literally makes this face.
It's like this gutter trash girl talking about being cursed by a lich. Oh man.
So he kind of raises an eyebrow and he says, "You're cursed?" And the old man, the wise old man, also turns and says, he just sort of takes note. And Eliza bows her head and she says, "My apologies for speaking out of turn."
Never apologize for telling the truth, Eliza.
She looks up at you beaming. I could just imagine what Azar would be thinking.
Great parents found a daughter.
Yeah. Azar and Rayleigh, who were both tried to lie.
Azar's interest was piqued when she mentioned that she was also cursed. And I examine her hands from where I am to see if I can catch a glimpse of the tattoo or the marking.
She kind of puts her hand up and places her index finger above her eyebrow to catch the strand of the hair there and tuck it behind her ear. And as she tucks it behind, her palm rotates out and you see that she does indeed have a skull in the palm of her hand.
Shut up, man. I technically still have two hands, okay? Just one's in a bag.
One's in a bag. He's got a Ziploc baggie.
Yeah, and the one in the bag happens to be Carl Fatman's hand.
That's right.
Please, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
His right hand that was cut off, so now he's going to have two left hands once he attaches Carl Fatman's.
Double the tattoos, double the skulls.
He is. Because he said if your right hand offends thee, chop it off.
Right.
Like, that's the scripture verbatim. So he has two left hands.
I show back up to fucking Morthos years later, and I show my left hand, like, see? I did lose it.
Oh, my God.
That's horrible. I mean, is that like a severe consequence, or what is that? Or is that a new aspect?
Anything.
Okay.
That's just.
I didn't impose it, but it would be.
It would
something
be
along
a new aspect.
It wouldn't have been worth imposing.
Yeah.
Turn to the old man and say.
Incidentally, I have. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, old man, thank you for helping my friends, but we must leave.
He says, I understand. If you need any help, I will be here. I can answer your questions. I've noticed that your friend here, and he has many unanswered questions about himself. And your other friend, well, he's touched by the shadow.
The shadow can only be caused if there is the sun above.
How did you know my uncle's name?
He says, well spoken.
The shadow. Relay will turn to the old man and go, and what do you think my purpose is, old man? Since he's kind of made some sort of, little trusting connection with him, that reminds him of Prath, and he's, kind of wise in his old age, his things that he says. So what do you think my purpose is, old man?
He turns towards you, and in a very straight face, he says, to make chicken broth, you need a chicken. To believe in God, you need a God. You need to go out in the world and find yourself a chicken.
Chicken. Oh, okay. So really kind of confused. But he kind of understands it, but then he kind of thinks in his mind that the old man doesn't really understand his situation, because how can you find a God when they're all there by no
right.
Choice of your own?
Well, you can do everything internally, or you can do it externally. If you'd like to have all internal dialogues for the whole game, that's fine.
That's right. Okay. He'll just kind of just shake his head a little bit, not quite understanding it, but that signaling to the old man that the conversation is over. He'll look at the Sir Reginald and kind of keep his distance from him, not liking the look of the man. He's seen people like him before in the past.
You've seen people like who before?
Sir Reginald.
And what did you say something, or you're just observing him?
He was just observing him and keeping his distance from him, because he's run into people like him from the past. Looking at him to see what Sir Reginald, how he's taking in Relay, expecting a certain sort of demeanor towards him.
Okay. Sir Reginald kind of turns to the group, and it's very obviously loud and chaotic outside, and he says, how do you propose we go about moving through this to get to my estate?
This is your city, sir. I don't know the streets are the best way to go. Are there...
Wait. What? Why are we going to this man's estate? Relay pipes up.
So we can have someplace safe to stay until the crowds disperse and we can leave the city safely.
Till nightfall?
Pretty much, yeah.
Relay will look over at Sir Reginald and kind of get this very untrusting look come across his face. And Perrin, I don't think this is a good idea.
Come now, Relay. The man wears a pendant of Pelor. Surely we can trust him.
Even more reason this is not a good idea.
Relay, you're worrying about nothing. Have faith.
If your friend does not wish to go, he does not have to go.
And he'll kind of look over to the old man and say, maybe I could stay here.
The old man says, you can certainly stay here. Nani.
Sir Reginald, do you know someone who can help care for our friend Kevin here? His wounds are very grievous.
Oh, certainly. We have many people. We have I have my own personal doctor. He can attend it. I have a court wizard. He might be able to do something to at least give you a temporary answer to your problems.
So I'm going to kind of play on that angle to get Kevin to come with me, and then from there convince Relay he should come too.
Okay, how are you going to convince Relay?
God.
Sir Reginald walks up and he places his hand on Relay's shoulder and he's like, I do not know why you do not trust me. What have I done to you?
He'll shrug his shoulder down and off so that the hand comes off his shoulder and kind of take a step back from him and point and says, I've seen your kind before and they've tried to do much, still in kind of his angry consequence manner.
And what is my kind? He sort of shrugs his shoulders and opens his hands like in a confused manner.
Subjugation, control, corruption, seekers of power.
Do you think I seek power? I give the people what they ask for. They want services. They want entertainment. I provide it to them. I'm simply a provider.
Relay will swing his hand out, pointing to the outside, and says, yeah, this is what your ideals and your ideas have gotten in. Look at all the people out there. Look at all the chaos that they're causing right now. Who do you think is the causers of all that? You.
Relay, this man is offering to help us and heal our friend. Behave yourself.
He'll turn to Perrin and says, Perrin, I want no help from this man. I need no help.
The old man walks up and he waves you off and he says, I don't think you understand. Morthos is filled with pride. For him, it is his belief. He doesn't believe in the culture that has existed for thousands of years, and he thinks that he can instead remake society in an instant and according to his ideals. And it's impossible for him to foresee every pitfall that would manifest in going through such an endeavor.
It sounds like just another form of control, of someone seeking power and control, just like this man himself. He looks over at Sir Reginald.
This is probably the exact worst thing to say, but Perrin's going to lean over and say, Relay, you're being paranoid.
When you said that, are you saying that of the old man, or are you speaking of Morthos?
He spoke of Morthos and then Sir Reginald, putting them, kind of lumping them both in the same group.
The actually, Eliza is going to speak up as you're sort of confused by everything that's going on, and you're blaming Sir Reginald more or less for their rioting and stuff. As she comes over there and pulls on your sleeve or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and let me see. God, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes. She says,
"Hey, mister, you're being an idiot."
she looks up at you and she says, "In the name of equality, envy."
Okay. Relay will kind of be taken back a little bit by her nature and her words, and say, "But without balance, there can't be any equality."
Equality is envy. Do you know what envy is? It's lazy ambition, wanting something for nothing, an outcome that does not reflect the effort that you've put into it. I think that Arethno is just envy.
You're very wise for your age.
Yes, that's what my dad always said before he died.
Before your parents died?
Yes, but it's been a blessing.
What? Okay, Relay's kind of confused there because he's sort of having a moment of connection, and then when she said it was a blessing, it's like what? Because he totally doesn't understand his parents, are no longer with him, but he doesn't picture it as a blessing.
It's a blessing because they have gone up to Pelor now and can look over me and protect me. And everything bad that happens to you in life, it makes you stronger. And I feel like I'm stronger because of it.
Perrin gets a tear in his eye, like, "Oh, I found a friend finally."
He found his pupil.
For now.
For now. That's right. Azur's checking out her hands is what he's doing. I think I could put those in the bag too.
So
okay.
She explains how it's a blessing because it has made her stronger and her family is in a better place now and blah 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 blah. Religious stuff.
Okay. Relay will kind of have from her words a kind of a calming moment in his demeanor and from his anger of all this is going on, and he'll kind of turn to Perrin and apologize to Perrin for snapping at him, and it says, I know Sir Paladin that you only mean well, and I'm sorry for my actions and reactions. My life has taken me in a direction where I've become very disjointed and disconnected from the world, and from this girl's bringing up her thoughts about her parents has really kind of brought me back from the brink.
No need
She
to apologize.
puts her hand.
I'll face turmoil at some point.
She puts her hand on you somewhere that's easy to reach because she's a short little girl. That's appropriate. And she says, "You're blessed."
And he'll look at her and give her a little smile and says, "Well, I don't know about that." He says, that one there I'll have to do a little bit more working through. And then he'll turn back to the old man and says, "But I will begin looking for my chicken."
He bows his head to you and he says, "Make a divine broth."
Your divine broth.
And
Old man,
Sir
thank you for your
Reginald
help.
looks around. He's like, "What are you all on about? Are we going to my estate or not?"
Czar stands up and waves his number around and goes, "We go," and I just fall over and pass out from the pain.
And then
the old man turns towards the group, and he says, "I gave him some medicated tea. It might make him a bit loopy, but he's not going to stay anymore."
Yep.
We appreciate your help. Relay, if you can help carry Kevin, I can help carry Sir Reginald's driver, Peter. If Sir Reginald, you can lead the way to your estate.
Certainly, but if I may, old man, do you have perhaps a cloak I can put on that's less luxurious, so that I may blend in? And the old man, he goes to his closet and he finds a large cloak that Sir Reginald can put on, and he gives the old man his very expensive cloak, and he also says, "And allow me to pay you for your cloak." And he reaches in and he gives them like way too many gold coins for the cost of this crappy cloak, and he puts it around his shoulders and he says, "There, now we can go."
Thank goodness Azure's asleep.
Yeah, right.
I would have found a way to say that, I'm sure.
So he puts the commoner's cloak around, and he steps out into the street, and he's like, "All right, we need to head this way." And he basically, you guys are going to head down this alleyway and then turn and go across the busy street and again, eventually get to his estate. As you guys are moving through the streets, quick aside, as you guys are heading out, Eliza asked Perrin, she says, should we cover up that we are the converts of Pelor? What's the word I'm looking for? The brethren of Pelor? Blah, blah, blah.
Never. You always have to stay true to your faith.
She looks up at you beamingly as she says, "Some might say you're crazy, but people also say I'm crazy." And she just starts laughing.
Okay.
But like really crazy.
Out of game?
Oh yeah. Like crazy laughing. Like just
game?
laughing like okay, go ahead.
Staring at him laughing.
Eliza totally killed her parents. When she was with those 5 guys in the mountain, she was definitely the one who slit their throats. Like,
she's
more this girl is going to.
She's still more
She's
in
going
one
to
of you at a
follow
time.
all of us.
Yes.
Okay,
love
you
it.
think she slit everybody's throats?
Yes.
Out of game, yes. Perrin's freaking in love with her, but yeah.
I think Azure and Elijah are like two kin.
Eliza.
Eliza.
I am your father.
I am your father.
Perrin thinks this girl
all right.
is
No,
like
but
the
I
second
killed my
coming.
father.
Matt thinks this girl's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Matt talking in third person now.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
All right, so you guys are moving through the back alleyways, in no way hiding your Peloriness. Also, when you guys exit the hall into the alleyway, you're going the opposite way of the construct, and you notice that the construct still blocks the hallway, the alleyway, and you still hear more chaos down that end. At this point, it looks like they're throwing Molotov cocktails onto the construct, and it's burning, but it's not being consumed. It's not being consumed by the flames, but they're just standing there like a statue, and they're what do you call it? Vandalizing it for the most part.
So that picture that MJ posted is actually pretty accurate then, with the fire leaking down and shit.
Yeah.
All the Molotovs all over it.
Yeah. Now
Now it's accurate. And when you guys come here, there is light rioting going on the street, but the lion's share of it is down here. You actually see some buildings on fire. You see just absolute chaos down the street. Tons of chaos going on down here. You see some guards, city guards, run past you, and they begin clashing with rioters out in front of you. Absolute fighting in the streets. How would you guys like to proceed? Just run across the street? Would you like to do something else?
So it's complete chaos right now, right?
Yeah, the city's an open riot, and you guys are on this street right here where the green line is. You're trying to pass from this alleyway over to this alleyway to get to number 11, which is the Leonin estate.
In my kind of woozy state and I'm being like held by, I'm assuming, Rayleigh over his shoulder.
Right.
I'm kind of like, fucking Northhouse, and I just like lashed out a fucking tentacle just at the nearest person that I think looks like a kind of reddish person, because I'm still like all foggy headed.
Okay. A tentacle lashes out from your shoulder, Rayleigh. It wraps around a rioter's neck. He's running past with like a club. He looks like he might be a tiefling with very small budded horns, probably about 15 or so. Mm-hmm. This tentacle whips out, wraps around his throat, and begins choking him, and he drops to his knees, and he's like screaming raspily. You would also see this, obviously, Perrin, and Eliza sort of screams out. She goes, "Oh God!"
Does Relay recognize it as a person that's that is from the mob?
Oh, it's a rioter. He's definitely rioting, but he's like a 15-year-old kid being swept up in a movement. You know, he's at his core. Anyone could consider him innocent.
Yep.
I'm going to walk up and hit Kevin on the back of the head with the handle of my sword to knock him out.
Relay's gonna kind of, in his confused nature from the conversations that took place from Eliza and the old man, looking for his chicken, is going to go out and say, "Pelor's might smite thee," as he swings his mace down upon this guy's head as the tenant puts him in place.
You're going to smite the kid in the street?
Yes.
The rioter kid?
The one kid that the tentacle grabbed coming out from Relay. He's going to turn around and kind of give Eliza a look and Perrin a look and go, "Pelor's might smite thee," and he just smashes his mace on his head.
Oh, Jesus.
You open his head, and Eliza cocks her head to the side, and she looks up to Perrin, and she goes, I don't think he's doing it right.
Oh, damn it, Relay.
Cackles like a madman, only interrupted mid-cackle with the blow to the head being knocked out again.
Yeah, so you're unconscious, and Rayleigh splits this guy's skull. Eliza looks confused. She runs over and she puts her hands on his head, and Sir Reginald turns around and he goes, why would you go and do that? He's but a stupid child.
And he kind of looks back confused, like, Relay feeling like he's done something correct and for a purpose in life, and like, what?
Oh, Lord.
You can't go around killing every stupid child that does something stupid. And Reginald just sort of throws his hands up frustratedly. I can't believe it.
He's like, but this person just took the hand of our friend.
He just, what?
This person took the hand of our friend.
He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. This boy doesn't even have a knife.
He'll turn to Perrin looking for some support in the matter. Perrin.
He turned towards Perrin.
Perrin's going to drop the driver, hold on to his sword, and say, "Relay, that was an evil action. That is not justice.
I don't understand.
Come on, get Peter. We could discuss it at my estate. And he kind of motions down the way. I think Morthos and his mob is coming this way. We have to keep moving.
Perrin looks at Relay and says, Relay, you should turn yourself into the city guard.
Relay will stop having that moment, and he just kind of looks between Eliza and Perrin, and then you kind of see a sadness that comes to his eyes, not understanding, and he just drops his mace onto the ground.
And Azar.
And Azar. No, he's keeping Azar. And then he'll just kind of, you see the countenance, just the whole conversation that just had taken place and some sort of possible new hope for him just leaves him.
We will find redemption for you, Relay.
She takes Relay's hand.
We will find some good deeds that you can do to redeem yourself, but that was an evil action.
We have to get out of here. She's pulling on your hand. He's confused. Look at his eyes. He's not even in his own head right now. He's worse than I can be when I get confused. We have to go.
We will take him with and pray for him and help him find redemption. Pick up the driver again and kind of push Relay in front of me, bringing him along.
You guys see Morthos now has taken a horse, and he's mounted on the back of the horse, and his mob gathers around him, and he becomes charging down the road, and he says, I see them! They're there! The false prophets! And Sir Reginald goes, oh shit, we must go now. Now would be good. And he begins to do a rich man's awkward foppish jog down the alleyway, the avenue towards his estate. Eliza is pulling on Relay's hand, and she's like, let's go, Mr. Relay.
And he's just slumping and following along.
Eventually you guys get to the gate. Sir Reginald's guards open the gate, allow you in, shut it behind you. They take up guard and don't let anyone into the estate. Sir Reginald is rushing inside, so you guys could possibly be inside the building before the mob even gets to the outer perimeter. Or you could stand out there and wait for them and confront them. What would you like to do?
I would say, since I'm trying to help people who are hurt or passed out, or my main goal would be more to try to counsel Relay than to argue with the mob right now, I think.
All right. So you guys head inside. It's a very nice mansion, well maintained. The estate is clearly a very rich estate. He has servants around, and they come and they take your cloaks from you, and they offer you food and drink, and he tells them to fetch the doctor, and eventually the doctor comes out and starts tending to Azar to make sure that everything's good, blah blah blah. And Relay, Eliza kind of goes over and she says, I think I need to pray. And Reginald ushers her over to an icon that she can kneel before and pray, and she actually has tears running down her eyes, very confused by what's unfolded. And standing there, I assume you're just standing there. How are you standing there, Relay?
He's just kind of hanging out there, and he'll set Azar down on somewhere to where he can rest on a couch or something like that. And he's just he's just trying to ponder about, he thought for a second that he had some sort of direction in life that the old man was talking about. And now it's just all been taken from him. He just doesn't understand, because he has all this influence of all kinds. So it's all a part of him. And so he was thinking that he should go one direction. He thought he was doing it right, but unfortunately not, as he was scolded.
All right, so he's standing there looking like a scolded puppy dog, dejected. Yes. What would Perrin like to do?
Relay. That was not a good action. We seek for justice, but not that kind of justice. That young child could have been saved still. He could have been brought to Pelor's light. I appreciate that you're trying to do justice, but I don't think that was the correct way to go about things.
He says, but I've seen you cleave monsters in half. Couldn't
monsters,
they
yes.
have been brought to Pelor's light? It makes no sense. It's almost like everything is hypocritical. This whole life is hypocritical.
There's a big difference between a gnoll and a 15-year-old child.
What is that difference?
Perks up. He's like, we're all monsters in somebody's eyes.
He holds up his chopped off hand, his stub.
I will pray to Pelor that he can guide you and show you the way.
Maybe Pelor's not my chicken.
Pelor is everyone's chicken.
He clucks in mysterious ways.
I kind of like quirk my brow. Y'all worship chickens?
And instantly, arise, chicken, arise.
Arise, chicken, arise. Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Read these cue cards.
All right. So, Azar, we're going to pick it up with you. The Sir Reginald's doctor comes in. He takes care of you. He fixes you up. Everything's looking good. This is D&D world. They could do a bit of magic, obviously. But the wizard comes over and he says, I can summon you in a hand. It would be from the far realm or the dark realm, or maybe even a manifestation of some sort of sprite. You'll have an entity that will manifest as your hand, but a reflection of your soul, more or less. Would you be interested in taking on a living hand?
Yes, I already know of grafting. Graft me a new hand.
He says, very well, but I have to ask you, do you think that this will manifest?
It'll manifest perfectly.
Yeah, he's excited about doing it.
Yeah, he is.
I'm hoping I'm in the other room when they're magicking on some sort of evil hand.
Oh yeah. This is definitely going on in like the wizard's sanctum area.
Yep. Relay's going to wander off while everything's happening over here, and he's going to see if he can find some sort of like weapons room or something in the guy's estate.
All right, you can be wandering off. Yeah.
My arcane chainsaw hand.
I mean, in the third movie, he did go back in time to the medieval ages.
Fucking Army of Darkness, man.
Army of Darkness.
Yep.
So he sits down and he goes about doing this ritual, and he places your hand on a Ouija board-esque, sigil-covered table that, he's calling down spirits and magic and all this arcane shit is swirling around, and he brings in some acolytes to help him, so they're standing around chanting, and you see your hand sort of looking like 3D printing, where it just starts from the bottom and it goes a layer at a time. You see the flesh flow into it and the bone flow back into it. But it's a strange color. It's not the color of your hand. The fingers are like twice as long as your other hand, and they're extremely thin and bony, like a person with Marfan's. Like they would be very pronounced knuckles, very long and thin, and the color doesn't match. It's like definitely more pale than yours. Assume you're a nice tan color. This is like white almost.
Does
like never seen the light of day.
Anything?
Well, as you move it around, the hand definitely works like a hand, and you don't have like that ghost feeling, and the length of the fingers feel appropriate. But as you turn it over and look into the palm, your actual hand has the skull manifest in the middle, and this new hand has, instead of a skull in the palm, it has a small mouth.
Oh, I was half expecting you to say like a little image of a guy shitting on Pelor or something. Just to piss off there.
So
like
as soon as you look into
like a tattoo mouth,
into the palm of the hand and you see the mouth there, it starts making whimpering sounds and going, "Where am I? I'm so scared. What's going on?"
I pat my hand and I go, shh, it's okay. You'll understand in time.
The wizard turns towards you and raises his eyebrow, and he says, "These hands manifest a reflection of your heart."
Is it just me and the wizard in there?
Yeah. Well, the acolytes, but acolytes are like acolytes.
Well, you were totally gonna kill the wizard, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to anyways. I hold open my hand and I face it towards the wizard, and the mouth opens up and it begins like a really powerful suction, right, like in the face of the, not holding his face, but in his face.
Give me you want your hand to suck him?
Not like that, you homo.
No, I'm trying to imagine like it's vacuuming in the wizard.
Yeah.
Now you have to understand, this is a powerful wizard. He's not going to. You can't just suck in the face of a powerful wizard.
Yeah, even if he's caught off guard, because apparently I'm foppish, but this wizard's not foppish.
Well, yeah, everybody's foppish. That's the nature of casters. You want to suck his face in. Okay. By what means are you going to use your hand? Like, I would have to say magic handyisms are going to have to be like a new skill. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I meant when I was asking, like, does this hand do anything? Like, did I get a new power with this hand, like paralyzing touch or something?
Whimpering voice.
Right?
I like the idea of the hand sucking in and what that possibly could do. We'll have to figure it out. For now, let's think of what would you call the skill for your handy magic? Do you want to call it handy magic?
Grafted magic, I guess.
Okay. That's good.
Or
pick one of your 1-point skills.
Call it pale magic, because that's technically what it is.
All right, I'm going to replace your reassurance, because you don't seem like a very reassurance person, since it's a 1-point with no a 1-point skill with no XP in it. And that's going to be pale magic. This is the means that you're going to use to do your casty stuff. So you want to try and suck in the face of this wizard with your hand.
I say just his face, but like power is mainly what I'm going for. But I guess I'm leaving it up to you.
So you're trying to suck in his power.
Yeah, like drain his ability.
Okay, so you want it to be like a vampiric magical thing?
Yeah, kind of.
All right. Let's see. I mean, he's a wizard. He's not going to be easily susceptible to this, but he is caught off guard. I'm going to set it at challenging, an obstacle 4 for you to successfully face suck him. Now you have the option of you do have the option of buying this down in various ways. You could obviously take an impending doom or otherwise reduce it. You could sacrifice something.
Let's see. I will take an impending doom.
Ooh.
All right.
And
you could take more than one.
I'll just take one for now. And okay. What are other ways of buying it down? Besides,
you could take a wound.
Yeah.
You could take a wound to buy it down. Let's see. You could sacrifice one of your items. Like maybe I could see you consuming your grimoire of the old ones for its latent magic to give you a boost in order to pull this off, and you could reduce the obstacle by 1 that way. Obviously, there's taking consequences if you'd like.
I think I actually might do that grimoire thing, and then it's not necessarily like I'm controlling my hand right now. As I'm talking to my hand and consoling it, it screeches out and almost sucks my own face off. I'm like holding it back, like, what the fuck? And then it accidentally sucks up my grimoire. I'm like, no! And I face it away from me, and it starts attacking the wizard.
Okay, so it's an obstacle 2 then for you to face suck the wizard.
All right, and I'm going to use 3 potential. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
And pale magic, correct?
Correct.
3.
Oh man!
Oh, you've succeeded.
Barely. Jesus.
Yeah, tied. But it's, oh man, you rolled a 1 and a 3. Yeah, Crux though.
All right, the
re-roll it.
I'm just if I passed it, I just passed it evenly, right?
It's a success. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead. I got a lot of Crux. I'm gonna spend 1 to re-roll that 3.
Okay.
Yeah, get that thing up to at least 1 success. But there you go.
So that's
all right. There you go.
You beat it by 1.
Oh, I was like, what are you asking me? I didn't realize you did that Crux thing.
Oh, I went to steal one of your Crux so that it would populate over to my hand.
Oh, you get the Crux?
No, it's just so he doesn't have to think about it while he's doing his stuff. Anyways.
Oh.
Wherever the Crux went, you're down to 6. The hand kind of sucks in, and it grabs the book, it sucks the book out of your hand, and it's like that almost causes it to have a surge of power. And as it's sucking, you also hear like it has a sort of terrified scream. It has this sort of your hand is in a panic. It suddenly manifests, God knows where. It goes into a panic, and it latches onto the wizard's face. Now, you're trying to suck his energy. Do you want to actually kill him? Is this your goal, or to suck in as much energy as possible?
To quote-unquote accidentally suck in as much energy as possible.
Okay. If you're sucking in as much energy as possible, I will give you... You're going to pull 6 potential out of him.
Oh,
nice.
This is a powerful wizard. This isn't somebody to be trifled with. And he once you draw this out of him, then he like struggles with you, and and the acolytes come up and they take your arms and they're pulling back, and he's pulling back the other way, and one's trying to pull it off of you. And once they
What? I don't know if you cut out or stopped.
Yep. We may have lost him.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know, it was just getting good.
I like how in this whole session we've moved like maybe 30 feet or so. Or not more,
Right.
maybe like 100 feet from the fucking spot we were.
At least we got away from that stupid crowd.
Right?
Oh my god. That crowd. I was really expecting to have to fight my way out of that.
Yeah.
I was too. I literally was like to Joe, all right, Perrin's dead in 3, 2, and then it went a different route.
all right.
Right.
Apparently I got muted randomly somehow.
Oh, that's
Well,
weird.
that's weird.
Yeah, Google Hangouts muted me. Anyways,
Let me check the Hangout. No, I don't even have it up. So
falls to the floor. He struggles back, gets up on his elbow after. Did you hear the whole part about the acolytes coming over to help separate you guys?
Yeah, I heard that part.
So the acolytes there tried to separate. They're pulling you back, pulling him back. The suction suddenly stops and they fall to the ground. The ones that were holding the old wizard. And he struggles up to his elbow and he looks over at you. He goes, "What the hell is that thing?"
I kind of like grab my wrist and I put my whole body weight on top of it, and I use my extra hand to steal a glove off of one of the acolytes, and I put it over my hand. And I kind of like bend my fingers and stick them in the finger hole so that it looks like normal length fingers. And I just
I love it.
I
That's
contain him.
hilarious.
I contain the guy in the glove. Like, going off inside. I was like, "Shut the fuck up!"
shut up.
And I'm holding my wrist with the glove to keep the glove on it, as my hand's like throwing a fucking fit right now. And I don't know. What'd you fucking do to me? I'm like playing it off, but I feel better.
Once you put your hand into the glove, it starts relaxing, and you have sort of a connection with it. It was genuinely terrified. It's confused, and as you start sort of being in contact with it, you get an idea of its name, of the entity's name. What is its name?
Penelope.
Oh, I thought you were gonna tell me the name. I will name him Carl.
You monster.
Monster.
By the way, he has the voice of Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Okay.
Yeah, just need your pal over there.
Oh my god.
So, when it manifests in your mind, its name, it's got like this multiple syllabic, like impossible for the human tongue to pronounce sort of name. So you're just like, I'm gonna call you Carl, and it finally agrees that fine, you can call me Carl, and then it starts. You get the impression that it feels safe. It's dark here, it's safe, and I feel okay. It doesn't know that it's in a glove, but it thinks that you've put it in a safe place for now. And you get just this overwhelming feeling that the entity that is now your hand is terrified. And when you turn to the guard, the wizard, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know, what did you do to me?" He kind of works up to his knees and slowly stands up and grabs his staff, and he goes, "Of your soul, there's something that you're terribly afraid of, I must say, and I apologize for seeing this aspect of your person. It's clearly something you keep deep down. I will not share this with anyone, I promise you."
I grab the bit of my glove and start pulling it off slowly. Like, you better not say shit. Like, I swear this will happen again. And I pull it back down and pet my hand slowly.
You're telling that to Carl?
To the wizard. Like, you better not say this shit to anybody.
He gets this. He gets a sort of a knowing look on his face. He could see that this is something that Azar likes to keep as well separated. You know, his inner self versus his outer self are two very different things. And so he nods to you and he swears some sort of oath that he will not share your secret.
I collect my composure and I went, okay, good. Glad we have an understanding here. Are we done?
Do you need some chamomile tea?
Why does everyone keep asking me that?
Why is tea always the answer?
The mouth on my hand has a little Carl mustache.
It's wearing the foreigner belt as a watch. What do you call that thing? What do you call that jewelry you wear around your wrist?
A bracelet?
Bracelet. That's it. Bracelet. The words I forget.
Right? I was like, a bracelet? Is that what you mean?
Like I'll come up with some stupid big long word. I'm like, oh, this is the perfect word for the situation. But bracelet, I'm like, I fucking no idea. Anyways. So you become you're done with this. I assume you leave.
Yeah, I head back to the group, and as I walk into the room, I kind of like hold up my gloved hand and wiggle my fingers, like good as new.
Except if they are doubled over, they're not going to have the joints in the right spot, so it's a very stiff-handed finger wiggle. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I was like, I actually mind that. I know y'all can't see it, but I mind that.
Oh, praise be to Pelor. He's healed you.
You hear, fuck Palor, but it's like from a gloved hand, and we're all looking around, where'd that come from? I'm like, shut the fuck up, man.
Actually, I'm the voice of your hand, so you don't get to tell
Oh,
it.
that's going to be so
Pelor.
awesome. Well, I'm just
the voice
like
of your hand. Right
casually petting my hand, trying not to make it look weird, but I'm doing it.
He finds it soothing. It is still very scared, but it sees you as sort of its protector in a strange way. As I said.
You'll keep me safe, right? Yes. Oh my god, that's not my hand. I'm over here talking to myself. Everything's gonna be okay, right? Yeah, everything's gonna be fine.
Azar is insane. Everybody's insane at this point.
I think you lost a lot of blood.
he just pictures it as it's some sort of entity in his hand, but it's just him talking with his hand.
I would fucking love that almost way more than what I have now. In my mind, I'm having a Rayleigh moment where it's totally alive.
Reginald gets you guys rooms well furnished. He provides for you guys a full multi-course meal. He sees that everyone is taken care of to the full extent of the hospitality that he's able to provide, which is quite a lot. Also, I'm going to say that Perrin, do you still have a head wound?
Yes, I think so.
That's going to be addressed by their doctors, so that's going to go away. Anybody that has any sorts of wounds, Rayleigh, your anger is going to go away. Yeah. Azar has nothing, but he would have had something pretty severe, but he's going to have handy powers now. Carl the hand.
There are too many fun hand pictures.
Let me see.
That's what Ezra sees every time he looks at his hand.
Jacob went AFK for a second, so we'll continue as soon as he gets back.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
All right.
Did you mute yourself again, Joe?
No.
Oh, okay.
Your mic's up, though.
Oh, okay. Fixed it.
So basically, he offers everybody. Incidentally, this is my inspiration for his hand. The one anime that I can remember from my childhood.
Before clicking it, it's Vampire Hunter D. Yep.
Exactly.
That's instantly what I thought of when you said
cool.
that.
Okay, that's much better. All right. I'm going to post it up so everyone can see
Except it has no eyes. It's just a mouth. It's an eyeless face in his palm.
Yeah, the anime is pretty dope. At one point, the guy who has it's like knocked out, and so to help him get up, the hand like crawls around.
It gets cut off.
It doesn't. I couldn't remember what happened. He just starts eating dirt.
Yeah,
like I just remember
the
that.
hand is cut off. It crawls back to Vampire Hunter D, reattaches itself, and it starts eating dirt as if that makes any fucking sense. And then it heals him.
Yeah, I don't get it, but it was cool.
God, I haven't seen that forever.
Yeah, it's an old one. It's like the only one that I really remember because I wasn't a big anime person, and when I was young, there was like 3 animes.
Saturday morning for the shit, man.
The only one I ever got into was Inuyasha,
All right, so
where that picture I posted was because one of the monks has a hole in his hand that sucks everything into it.
Cool.
Yeah, that is a pretty good representation too, the Inuyasha pick, because that's basically what Jacob was doing. So to go back into character, Sir Reginald provides everyone with a lavish room to stay in, a lavish meal. Everyone is taken care of to the extent of his ability, which is quite high. And if there's no more RP that's going to go on, you guys could start healing. So everyone could take a flat 5 potential. Jacob, remember you cap at 13, so you can't go any higher than that.
Okay.
And
5
anyone who is not,
okay.
you get 5 automatically just for having the overnight sleep. Now for the great degree to which this guy is taking care of you, everyone can roll 5 dice to represent the accoutrements. I mean, what's the accommodations as for you guys? So everyone can roll 5d6 and they automatically explode.
Does my charge spell reset?
Yes. Oh, dailies, all dailies and all charge spells reset.
Sweet.
Actually, your charge spell probably would have reset while you were unconscious on their shoulder.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
The 6 automatically explodes, so roll 1 more dice.
Yeah,
Pretty garbage.
Rayleigh is like super not wanting any of this help. He's just like pushing people away.
Wow.
All right.
Turn that 6 into a 1.
Jeez.
Have the option, if you would like, Perrin, of spending your Crux. You can recover a potential per Crux you spend. If you would like to build your pool up higher, unless you think 10 is good.
I think I'd rather have the Crux than more potential right now.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. MJ, you need to do your roll, 5d6.
Okay. 5d6.
Oh wait, you're at 13. Oh, that's Azar.
Yeah, I'm at
So I need to
8
roll.
potential. I'm at 8 potential. So do I roll
5d6 for your 5d6 for your recovery?
Oh, recovery.
You get 5 automatically from your base recovery, and then he's giving you 5 for all the accommodations.
So do I get 1 since I did roll 1 good one?
Yeah, you get one
got
more
a 6.
additional. And you can automatically explode that 6 in, Jay. So right now you're at 3.
Oh, darn it.
And okay, you get 3 additional, so 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yep.
So everyone is much better on the potential front now.
Oh, there's a recovery button. I guess I could have just rolled that. I put it in a skill. That works.
That's fine too. Whatever works.
Yeah. I could have just went
Um,
boom. Yeah, and I would have got 0. How did that? Oh, my recovery button doesn't work.
oh, you didn't type a number in there.
You rolled
Oh,
0 d6s.
How many recovery rolled? So that's 5, right? Okay. And then you go like that. Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
you put 5 and then it would roll.
Gotcha. I'm good. Oh,
All
that's
right.
funny.
The next morning comes around. Everybody wakes up. Each room has their own servant. The servant wakes you at a proper time, serves you breakfast, and ushers you out into a common area later. And Reginald's sitting there in the common area on a large, lavish couch. And he says, "How's everyone doing? You slept okay?"
Very much so. Thank you again for your accommodations and your help.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. After all, you got me out of a dangerous situation. And I also must thank you. You saved Peter's life. I don't think he would have survived without you dragging him out of that chaos.
Just doing what was right.
He motions to a table, and there's travel gear, almost anything you guys could imagine, including a large sum of gold. So someone put in their inventory large sum of gold and put a 10 next to it just to signify that it has an overarching value of 10.
Yeah, relays.
Which in this game, that's basically
weapon.
like, oh yeah, you lost your mace.
He left it. He left it.
After you smashed a kid's head open.
Maybe Relay turns to a life of pacifism.
Nah. It's going in a different direction.
Where would the fun be in that?
That's right.
Eliza goes over to the table and she picks up a mace and she turns towards Relay and she says, "This should replace the thing you lost. Just don't crush any more children's skulls with it." And she offers it up to you.
Okay. Relay grabs it, looks it over, holds onto it, looks at the head of the mace, looks over at Eliza's head.
Oh my god.
Azar looks to Pear and is like,
the head of the mace.
Mad about her stealing.
That's right.
Wait, isn't he letting us take this stuff?
Reginald waves off
Yeah.
Kevin and he says, "This stuff is for y'all so that you could have safe travels. It's all that I could do, or it's to show my thanks for all that you've done for me, because you guys got him through the city and saved Peter."
I want to pick out like
okay, baby girl,
a small short sword that'll be like a good size for Eliza. And
absolutely.
On our journeys, I will teach you how to use this responsibly.
You mean it? As she kind of wields it around very clumsily, not dangerously, but you can tell she has no skill in weaponry. And she goes, "They never let me have a knife at the convent."
God, she's so creepy. Well, with this comes great responsibility. You can only use it in defense of yourself or others. You can never use it in anger, but I will teach you.
Do what Mr. Rayleigh did. I promise.
Good. Good.
She lies. She lies.
Azar senses the darkness in her.
None of us are surviving the first night we sleep out there.
Azar's hands turns over to him and says, "She's really, really bad, you know."
So you guys be sure that you take note that you have all proper traveling gear. You have the bag of gold with a value of 10. You guys got new weapons. Is there anything else that you guys could think of that you would like to have before heading out?
If there's a nice shield, I'd like to trade the Knoll shield I picked up for a better shield.
All right, you could find a shield, a high quality one, like a heater shield. Go ahead and record it in your inventory, and you'll get a 1d6 additional dice on defensive actions where a shield would be applicable.
Relay would like to see if he could find a sword also. Usually clerics of good carry maces or bludgeoning style weapons, but clerics that are evil, like blackguards and stuff, carry swords.
There are no large one-handed swords. In fact, when Perrin went looking for a small blade, Reginald actually produced his own short sword that he carries with him for protection, and he gave it to her. So she actually has a high quality, not overly jeweled, but you could definitely tell it's an expensive short sword.
Okay.
Being that this guy is very much a follower of Pelor. Yeah, that was given to Eliza. And if you ask for a sword, you could ask for a sword, but there's none on the table. He produced only maces and shields and very typical good Pelor stuff.
Yeah, he's going to ask to see if he could get a short sword.
He makes this face at you again, and he says, "What do you need a short sword for?"
Protection.
But you have armor, a shield, and a mace. Are those not enough in the grace of Pelor?
In the grace of Pelor, no. But in the grace of others, yes.
If it wasn't you, then who is it that summoned the great construct of Pelor in the street? I assumed it was you, a cleric of Pelor.
Correct.
So then you're under the grace of Pelor, correct?
Maybe. I don't know.
Relay is still finding himself, but he'll find his way to Pelor eventually.
I love how Perrin's the one that can explain all the madness that's going on in Relay's mind.
Reginald's like, "Oh, of course. I have you guys an unmarked commoner's carriage out front. It will be able to take you out of the city promptly. Do you guys know where you're going? You're cursed, as you were saying when we were in the presence of the old man down in the alley."
We would like to head to the nearest seaport. We need to hire a ship to take us across the sea.
Yep.
He pulls out a map and waits for Roll20 to populate it because he has a slow connection.
Because I don't know that our boy Kevin stole the map from the library.
I still haven't popped that out yet. Do I even still have that? I mean, since I was like robbed by the Arithnovix?
Where would you have put it? Like, they took your expensive overcloak in your right hand. They didn't, like, rob you of all your stuff. They wanted to, but they didn't.
I mean, if I
They
still
didn't
have
get
it, I'll
to
pop
before.
it out.
Okay.
Holy shit! I just found out where Perrin's from. Perrinland.
Where? Perrinland?
It's
Where's
called
that?
Perrinland up here.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
This is the best map ever.
No, best random map ever.
He can be from the best city name ever, Schwarzenbrunn. Right there in Perrinland.
You know what a Schwartz is, don't you?
Of the Barons.
The power of the Schwartz is with you, Pello Knight.
The Schwartz.
All right. So he shows you this map, and he says, "Where will you go?"
Looks like
That swamp.
what is it called? Safeton?
I second that we go to Safeton.
Well, is it safer to go to Safety, or there's High Point and there's also Blue?
Safeton, or I guess divers here. We could sail up and then down the river.
Yeah, we could go around that river. Or we could come down this river. I mean, really, we could go to Verbobone.
Verbonk.
Verbonk.
Oh, that's a sea. Okay.
Yeah.
And we go really anywhere we want to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Valuna is a magic city. Fuck, they might have portals or some shit there.
Yeah, I would say probably easiest to skip rivers and just sail.
I think we should look into where we're going to land. I mean, we can land in a big city like Iron Gate, or we could land close with Neri, or sail all the way around and pop right in Dulstrand.
So let me get this straight. The vast swamp is where, when we saw the vision where it told us where we need to go, right?
You had a vision that said, "In vast swamp lay the Temple of the Forbidden." I forget the exact rhyme.
Entrance.
In vast swamp lay hidden. It says, "In vast swamp lay hidden the Temple of the Forbidden." It's actually on your Skull Vision handout.
Yeah.
So that you don't ever forget it. So it just says that the vast swamp houses the temple, but you don't know much outside of that. You inferred from the vision that it must be in a cave because you saw mushrooms and this, that, and the other. So you have a lot of conclusions that you've come to on your own. All you know is that the temple is hidden in the vast swamp.
Okay.
And even that, you know it, air quotes. I mean, you had a hallucination. God knows what that means.
Right. So if we go, we're going to have to traverse the sea, but we can still go just through the continents and sail some rivers and stuff like that instead of having to traverse the sea to get down to the vast swamp. Because where are we going to land if we land in what's Neri? Is that what it is down there? Naerie?
Yeah, it looks like we could land here, and then if we just have to get to this river.
And then we could go into the swamp, but do we want to go that way? I don't know. See,
well,
that's
honestly, it depends on what we're doing. If we're in a little, tinier boat, not necessarily a huge ship, we could just sail right up this river and then park on land.
Right.
Or get out on a dinghy and go up the river, whatever.
It's sailing the sea comparative to staying on land.
Well, that's another thing. If Valuna does have teleporting, maybe Iron Gate has another end to that, or even Pitchfield.
True.
Or this one.
I don't know. If we came out, what's that river there? I can't see it. Nessie River, Nesse something. I can't see at the end of it.
Oh, right here in the
where we come.
Something?
Yeah, where we would come out from here? You were talking about sailing through here, and then we could come across that way to there, and then come into the land this way.
I think all the routes are about the same.
Yeah.
It's just if we go from here over Safeton, that's just a lot of going through the sea that we're gonna have to go all the way down here to go through. We got to go through the Azure Sea too, and we don't know. I mean, do we have any information about the sea? Do we've heard in the past?
It's made of waves and water.
Waves and water.
I don't think it's like Blackwater or anything where it's you shouldn't be out on it.
Right, or sea creatures or anything like that.
It's like any wilderness in D&D. Yeah, there's threat of creatures and monsters around. I mean, that's just the nature of it. But people go out into it all the time to fish and to trade. You just have to travel with guards of some sort. You know, if you're a merchant.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. Pirates and things like that too.
This area is not known for pirates, really. Iron Gate, right here, this city, that sees over this and sort of is in control of the straits here, has a relatively powerful navy, and they keep most of that stuff in check. Pirates are the least of your worries.
So we could.
I think getting there as quickly as possible would probably be the best thing. We are in a time crunch because we are assuming that if somebody else finds this stuff before us and returns it to the Lich, we die.
Yeah, is sea travel the fastest, or should we go down to Blue, just come across the continent that way? Just can't.
Oh, I would imagine sea travel would definitely be the fastest.
No.
Joe, are there portals in this world, or would sea travel be the fastest route?
Portals exist, but they're few, they're far between. You need to have a really powerful wizard. You need to have a catalyst that's powerful in order to summon the portal. You know, it costs you a lot, and it would probably be a quest in and of itself to open a portal.
I mean, I'm cool with not doing it if that's not something you want in your game. But I am from Baluna. I would know somebody,
right?
And I even have like skill contacts to do that kind of stuff. But I'm cool with just going and sailing.
I don't have a huge thing planned either way. Like, I make it up as we go. If you want to try to convince them to go to Valuna, that's certainly possible. But you're going to have to convince the other two.
Well, I'll leave the decision up to you, gentlemen. We can go to Safeton or wherever and go by sea. Or perhaps I can see if an old colleague will sneak us through the portals in Valuna, see where we end up.
My vote would be for Safeton.
Yep. How trustworthy would the colleague be?
The colleague is very trustworthy. The portal, last I remember, things weren't going where we were sending them. But it worked a couple of times, and it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
I think the best thing for Azar to have said is, "Oh, he's as trustworthy as I am."
Or my name isn't Kevin Kevinson.
Let's ask your hand. Let's see what the hand says. Ask the hand.
Jeez.
Talk to the hand. Okay. No,
talk to the hand.
All right. Well, I think we're all voted on going to Safeton. Safest bet.
Yeah, I think so. We'll do the sea thing. But do we want to go through the forest there, or do we want to sail around like this? So hit the river this way, catch it up there, come down, and then we could hit the sea this way to come across down to there, or we could land at Derry.
I mean, closer
Was
on
Sir
land.
Reginald's carriage willing to take us all the way there?
Oh, that'd be dope.
Oh, we could go all the way around the continent.
I meant all the way to Safeton.
Oh.
If you guys go to Safeton as the crow flies, you're going to run into the Temple of Elemental Evil.
Sweet. We're going there.
Right here. It's right here.
Well, what about if we go to Verbone, like his carriage takes us to, or Verbonk, whatever, and we catch a river ferry all the way up to this area, and then we can just make a trek south that way. Or take it all the way around to Safeton.
Look at your personal map, Jacob. There is, to get over to Verbonk, there is the Iron Road, which runs through the Iron Wood.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's a very small map, but yeah, I see what you're talking about.
It's a very small map, but it's a rich trade route. The guy says he's like, I can get the carriage to take you as far as Verbonk, but you would have to get your own carriage from that point on. I have, however, given you plenty of gold that you will be able to purchase one should you want to.
Yeah, I mean, Verbonk's a good start. We're going to have to go that way, either way.
So it's settled. Our next step is to travel to Verbonk.
Verbonk through the Iron Wood and the Cron Hills.
Alrighty. He takes you guys out the back way to sort of like a garage type area, like a covered place. You guys get into an unmarked, common looking carriage, and I wish you guys Godspeed. If you ever need anything, you can call on here in Devarnish, and I will do what I can to help you.
Thank you for your help.
And
may Pelor bless you.
He gives you a short bow.
I look to the old man and I say, I hold up my hand, tell your wizard thank you, and I'm sorry.
He lies.
He makes that face
sincere.
at you again.
He's actually being sincere. I'm on a check on that one. I do have a motivation.
He gives you a.
It says
he gives you a short bow. And with that, you guys have a driver take the helm of the carriage, and he begins pulling out into the street. You guys see the day after, there's still people in the streets. The riots have left much damage. There are some fires that are being fought. The Erythnolvics have captured like a granary, and they're like siphoning the granary off, and much of it's been burned, and just you see general chaos. You eventually get to let's get back over there. The gate for the Iron Road is going to be down here on the bottom corner. And so you guys are probably going to come through like some back alleyways as much as you can until you get to exit out that gate. And you see a bunch of guys with red banded arms around the gate area. The gate's closed, and they seem to be more or less shaking down anyone trying to leave. The gates are closed so that no one can enter.
The Tsar readies himself to kill a bunch of people.
Relay is going to ask for guidance from the gods.
Oh, great chicken, cluck upon me your knowledge.
That's right. He's now making his own god called the Chicken God, Chicken Soup. But he's gonna do a daily spell of and ask the gods for guidance, usually in the form of a yes or no question.
The guards, is it like one guy's going up and initiating everything with a group of people around him, or is it just like everyone starts raiding your shit as soon as you pull up?
I think you muted again, Voth. We can't hear you.
You said hiccup.
Oh yeah, he's gone. He's actually out of the Hangout. We're all making these preparations for war.
I can possibly Jedi mind trick him if it's just the one guy, but if it's like they just jump and shit as soon as you get there, we're gonna have to kill some people.
Well, and it could be another mob sitting there waiting for us too. And they had run-ins with Azure and Relay, so they would know who they were.
Yeah.
Well, and Eliza and I aren't hiding our Pelor-ness at all.
Exactly.
What is this image?
He's got like wings around his head.
It's Pelor, everybody.
It's Pelor. He's back. There you go, Perrin.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, there you are.
And he looks down at Perrin and is like, "You've been a very naughty boy, Perrin."
You are a very naughty boy.
Uploading that picture almost killed my connection.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, so you guys approach the gate. The driver slides a little door open and tells you, "I don't know if we're going to be able to get out of here." And then Relay begins to channel some crazy shit, right?
Great. Well, yeah, I was actually checking. I was casting... what's it called? Augury. Ask the gods for guidance. And
you don't have to cast augury.
Oh, you don't? It just happens? It's under my daily spells, though.
Oh, I know. This is one of your random god interventions.
Joy. Here we go.
Relay sort of like drops to his knees in the middle of the carriage and his eyes roll back in his head, and he throws his head back in a silent scream. And Eliza, she looks out the window of the carriage and she says, "Look, Perrin, it's Pelor." And you guys see this giant looming figure, massively taller. You know, these trees right here that you see in the picture, those are 2 or 3 times taller than the walls of the city. Like, he's a massive looming thing, and he never makes direct eye contact with you, and he seems aloof and absent, like he's here but not here, and he sort of has that translucent look. And without actually making eye contact with you guys in any way, he reaches back, he takes his hand, passes through the ground and comes up under you, and the carriage and the horses and everything rises up in the palm of his hand, and then he sets it on the other side of the wall.
I couldn't just fly us to the vast.
I'm the coolest character alive, and I didn't even know I did it.
We're just on our way.
I told you.
I told you.
As we're flying through the air, I fucking told you guys. You didn't believe me.
And the god like dissipates, like just as quickly as he was there. He fades away, having never made eye contact with anyone, always simply staring off towards the horizon. And the whole thing seemed really strange. And Eliza turns towards Azar or Kevin when he says, "Why didn't he just take us all the way to the marsh?" And she says, "Pelor works in mysterious ways."
I know it. Mysteriously bullshit ways. I say to Eliza.
Praise be to Pelor.
So that would have been more of Pellar's direct divine intervention with us. and then maybe Relay just had some sort of reaction to the power that was so close to him then, because it didn't Relay didn't do it.
Oh, it channeled through Relay because Relay passed out.
Oh,
you're
so
unconscious on the floor of the cabin now.
So then his power, it channeled through him like a conduit to the mortal world.
You passed out from the brush with the divine, and Eliza goes, "What's wrong with him? He doesn't appear to be breathing."
He was just so happy to see Pelor that he fainted out of joy.
He fainted out of joy.
She gets down on the floor of the cabin. The coach, the coach starts driving on again. He yaws and gets out of there because you see the gates open and all these red bands start chasing out. They're confused and angry. You could get the idea that they probably didn't see Pelor. They saw a flying carriage, so they just think you're doing magic.
Azar peeks his head out the window and holds up Carl Fatman's severed hand with the middle finger up, and they say, "Fuck you, Vix! I'm coming for you, Morthos!" As we go into the distance.
And Eliza rushes over to Relay's side, and Relay, you're unconscious and you're sort of talking in your sleep in the slightest whisper as she puts her ear up to you so that she can listen. And then probably 15 or 20 minutes pass and you start coming out of your unconsciousness.
Okay. Okay, so she was listening to what I was saying. Okay.
Oh, yes. She was listening intently the whole time.
If you build it, if you build it.
The visage of Pelor faded away as soon as he put you on the ground. But I assume, Perrin, you're probably staring in awe in the general location, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty much lost for words.
I mean, I'd imagine you feel like you're on the right track if Pelor is helping you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, at least that time.
I feel more confident than ever.
Oh, your image didn't post. Oh, I see it now. Did we lose Joe again?
I think so.
Let me post that image that you posted up there. There he goes. That's what Matt posted.
Oh, we're gonna be seducing some dragons. Don't worry about that. That lich,
fine.
That lich is gonna be mine.
There's good dragons out there. I can get down with hanging out with some good dragons.
There you go. Oh, Voth is muted right now. He must be. You're muted, Voth, if you can still hear us. Yeah, you're cutting in and out. Must be uploading something.
I feel like if Perrin went door to door asking people how they felt about Pelor while wielding his sword, he'd get a lot of, we totally love Pelor.
We love Pelor.
He's fantastic.
It's true. If they would have caught the side of Perrin cutting that knoll in half, like down the center.
I like how he just tag team killed an innocent boy pretty much on accident.
Was.
I don't see what the difference between that and killing some evil gnolls is.
Relay's quite confused right now. He's chaotic. He's going either which direction.
I was close to fighting you.
Were you? I know. I was wondering about that. I was like, is he going to do something? He wants me to turn myself in.
I was very close to trying to fight you.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I could have channeled like an evil god and we had like this big old battle.
Would have been an interesting one, that's for sure.
That's true. Well, you're very offensive and I'm very defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm a wild card.
He's the wild card. Yeah, that's true.
Actually, we're all kind of wild cards.
Yeah.
You never know when Perrin's zealousy is going to like take over. You never know when I'm going to try to eat a wizard or fucking Rayleigh is going to summon a god to scoop us up and move us 30 feet.
Cliffhanger of Relay talking in his sleep. I know that's... I want to know what I was saying. It could have been anything. Okay, so it had to be something from Pellar because Pellar was the one that was channeling me.
I was gonna so Jedi mind trick the fuck out of those guards.
Were you?
Yeah. I mean, if it worked out, like, if it was just the one guard being like, all right, we need you to step out, and like everyone listened to that guy, then we could have done it. But if it's just like they just raid you and jump you out of the car and whatever, no.
And remember what happened last time you tried lying to someone at the gate.
Well, see, the thing is, I was going to use my cantrip friendship on him so that he liked me for like a minute, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm your best friend. You're going to let me through without searching us. He'd be like, okay. And then a minute later, he's like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah, we are at 10:20 right now. Jacob has to work. So it looks like we're ending for the day. Lol.
Yeah, if he's having internet issues, it might be best.
Yeah. Okay, he's gonna check out and see if it levels back out again. What time you got to work, Jacob?
Not till like 5:30 or 6. It's like a long time from now.
I mean, I'm going to have to call it quits in 15 minutes anyway, so it's probably a good place to stop.
Are you working too, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. Type in there, let Voth know you got like 15 minutes left anyway. Oh, I got to link the Hangout again. Let me do that real quick. Copy. And minimize that and link. See if Voth comes back. Oh, we need to do your last things. Yeah.
The Crux rewarding.
Oh, that's right. That's right. For the next session.
Also, I never filled in a third.
Yeah, motivation.
I wasn't sure when.
Can you hear me?
Your third motivation
we can
was
hear you. You're back.
Oh, yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
That was a major hiccup.
That was. Nope, now you're gone again, unless you're muted. No. Oh, we could pick up the Crux for next week too. Just do that first. It just died. All full good. Yeah, that's true. We could do it over the forums. You could just type it out over there too.
Cool.
Just came back in all of a sudden.
Oh, hey.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, if we could do it, let's do it. If not, then yeah.
We'll start with Azar since he's the top of my list.
Yep.
And we'll go through it pretty quickly. Develop a stronger bond with the team. I would say in some weird way you have been doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, Rayleigh carried me to safety.
I
You
did.
wouldn't have done that if you didn't give
him
some
behind. Yep.
And you are also sort of trying to save him from the crowd, as he was obviously worked up, and you were trying to calm him and all that stuff. So I would say that worked as a thing. So I'll give you a point for that. Call the competition for the skulls and better my chances.
Didn't do that.
You actually picked up more competition.
Thanks, Aaron.
And also, now that you have some other things going on, would you like to create a third motive, or do you want to wait and do that next week? I kind of worry about that because we forgot all about it.
Yeah, we didn't do any motives this week.
It's weird because it's not like in the moment I can be like, my motive is to get outside. You know what I mean? Or I lost my hand. My motive is to get a new hand. You know, I can't. It's weird doing that. But at the beginning of a session, you don't know what to put your motive towards. You know, I think we should do the motives at the end of every session, like set them up for next time.
That does make sense.
Well, I'm asking you, what do you want your third motive to be?
I think my next motive is to find safe passage in Verbank to the next location.
Okay.
Once we get to Verbank, my motive is going to be to discover the next step. Like, I want to know the next step ASAP.
Well, I would say finding safe passage to Safeton from Verbank. Verbank, it's a terrible city name.
Just call it Verbank. We all know.
There. I would say finding safe passage from Verbank to Safeton would be a good motive. Why? Because you need to pursue the curse. It's kind of obvious.
Right.
Do you still feel the same about calling the competition, or do you want to alter that in any way?
Sorry, I was typing in that motive. Yeah, I'll change it from call the competition to like gain a better understanding of my new hand power.
Oh, I like that.
Gain a better understanding of the pale magic.
Of Mr. Hand.
Of Mr. Hand.
Carl, it's Carl.
Carl. Learn more about pale magic. That would be a good one. Or learn to whatever.
Pale palm magic?
Yeah. Gain a better understanding of pale magic. That's what I did.
All right, Perrin. Figure out how to break the curse and save lives. You learned very little about the curse, and you didn't press it too much.
Yeah, it was more trying to learn a little bit about the Lich, but I didn't really learn very much.
Yeah, so I would say you haven't really... well, I guess, because if you consider pursuing how to kill the Lich and all that stuff as part of breaking the curse, I think that might be worth a Crux point. So I'll give that one. And then find a skull for yourself in Relay so that we can survive.
I think I'm starting to really care about getting one for Relay.
Understanding that Relay is becoming a wild.
Do you want to alter that, or?
I will just change it to find a skull.
Okay. And be an evangelical who tries to convert Azar in Relay.
He did do that.
Well, I need to change it to Kevin in Relay.
I would.
Yeah.
You should have a motive that
I would say
Eliza.
That's right.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the new motive would be, kind of like train Eliza to be a little mini paladin type thing.
Are you training little holy warriors over there?
I might be.
Oh no, it's the Children's Crusades. We know how those went over.
It's Children of the Corn.
children of Pelor.
So I think instead of find a skull, it would be train Eliza in the ways of Pelor.
Yep.
Slash.
Go ahead and write that in.
Slash protecting the innocent.
Dude, I think Eliza would make a much more interesting child paladin prodigy than like a halfling assassin that's trying to kill us right now.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know what's funnier. A little kid paladin or Carl Fatman paladin?
I think
you have find the temple and locate a skull so that I can survive. You guys definitely pursued that by heading towards Verbrabonk, which is on your way to that. Well, I'll give you that one. Determine Azar's true motives towards me. You carried him out of there, and but would you? And I could be forgetting something. Did you do something to sort of analyze him?
Yeah, there were some times where I was actually determining from on Azar to see what his motives were. The sort of the conversations that happened this session, to see if he was actually, what his motives or things were towards me.
All right, so shot you a point for that, and now you have a third open motive. Is there something that you would like to create a motive involving how things have changed? Perhaps how to find a chicken for chicken broth.
Is
or,
exactly due with the chicken. It's after Relay's whole experience, he is going to delve into the alignments of the gods to determine the chicken. Start experiencing the different alignments of the gods through his actions to determine his chicken.
All right, go ahead and write it in there, and I will give you a Crux point. And once again, MJ comes out with the most Crux.
I would like to change my motives, though, if I could.
Oh, absolutely. You can do a lateral motive change at any time. To get a new point, you'd have to create a new motive that from one that you completed. So you have an empty spot. So you could fill that in with the find the chicken or however you worded it. And then the other twos, if you want to change them in some way, that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, well, I wasn't wanting to change. I really kind of wanted to change the wording on find the temple of forbidden to locate a skull so I can survive, just to get to finding the temple of the forbidden. And then taking determine Azar's true motives completely off and replacing that with the chicken one, the alignment chicken one. So basically, I guess just making making a new motive, but then taking off the other one and still leaving a motive open. Or do I just?
You haven't figured out Azar's true motives, and if I've already given you a Crux point, so if you were to delete the Azar one and then replace it with the chicken one, that wouldn't be worth a Crux point because you're doing a lateral move. But creating a brand new one on the open slot, it's fine, and then you would have to in some way switch the motive where Azar is at.
Right.
I mean, there's any number of ways you can change it.
Okay, so I'll just add the motive on then. Okay.
Okay. You could change it to determine something about Eliza because you and Eliza seem to have hit it off in some sort of weird way.
I don't think that's going to come into right now because of the way that he's now wanting to experience more of all the different alignments and the way to handle things. So, for instance, he thought he was by smashing the zealot kid's head, he thought he was handling, things correctly in the light of Pellar.
Oh, that was
crushing.
in no way the light of Pelor.
But see,
You might have
that's
said
where
it.
he's not understanding it. So now he's wanting to experience the different lights, you know, trying to figure out how to be good, maybe through, you know, Eliza and Perrin, and then also at the same time figure out how to be bad through the experiences of Azar. So he's going to be very suggestible to all of them in his next actions.
Crushing a child's head per the
Oh,
law
come on,
of...
a child. He was a 15-year-old. He's a teenager.
Okay. He's not legal to smoke.
Or drink.
The point is, I would propose that smashing the head in the name of him having slighted you in some way and going against the laws that govern you, I would say that would fall.
Oh, he just cut out. You just muted right at the end of your explanation. Darn it. Their chat log. Okay. Well, you have to. Yeah, he's got to do it on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the little traveling chicken that Matt posted. It killed him. Relays traveling. Just every once in a while, relay will just stop and lay an egg.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I think it's just yeah.
I think it's. I think that's good.
Oh, word. I just have Voth put him in the form what he was saying, the explanation.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep. Cool.
Cool.
All right, you there, Jacob?
He went AFK.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we can just shut down from there.
All right.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I guess we're on.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, next Tuesday is the 11th. Yeah, so we should be there. You good for that one, Matt?
Yeah, that should be good to go.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
All right. Have a good one, man.
Talk to you later.